go. Just trying to see how this works. Okay, good. Still learning new things with YouTube. And at 12 years, still learning new stuff. So what I'm going to do... Let's go share this to the Facebook group. So in case you don't know who I am, I'm Ray. I am the administrator of the Small YouTubers Facebook group. And I'm going to let them know that I'm live right now. We're going to be doing some channel reviews. Oh, got some people in chat here. Notifications went out. People are still coming. John, good to see you. As you can see, I'm trying something new, and it's, I'm going to figure out exactly the smart way of doing this. That's interesting, how that displays. Huh. Okay, I have much to learn about this. So it's not giving me the same kind of options. And John, just make you happy, I'm eating. So I'm having my dinner while I'm starting this. Yar, I'm a pirate. Sure. So just bear with me. I'm getting things set up here. The way that it's shared on Facebook doesn't look that great for this OBS thing that I'm trying. So we'll see. I'm just going to go send out a quick tweet about it, too, if I can. Let me try Chrome. Just want to let the world know what's going on, and then we can get right into it. There we go. Live channel reviews now. And there's the link, and I'll just tweet that out for anyone following the Small YouTubers Boost Twitter account. All right, there we go. Yeah, OBS. You see the thing? I was talking to Sonny. He's known as Achilles Melee, and he was... Oh, I was supposed to give him some advance warning about this. Oops. I should probably tell him. What is OBS? I'm not entirely certain. It's free, and that's awesome. Basically... It seems to be a way of combining two images or multiple image sources for a live stream or for recording purposes. So, I'm trying it out for the first time ever. I don't know what I'm doing. Hopefully that's okay. Just send Sonny a quick message here because I kind of told him I'd give him advance warning. Come on. Live now. And there's the link. Okay, so yeah, I downloaded OBS this morning, and I set it up, and so basically what it's doing, hopefully, is it's capturing me, and it's also capturing one of my browsers. So I've been doing these live streams for a while now, off and on. I think it's been about a year, probably. There's probably in the neighborhood of the 1-year anniversary of me doing this. I think the first time was December of last year. And it's always just been a camera pointed at me as I'm talking about things. And I'm talking about channel reviews. And you guys aren't seeing the channels that I'm reviewing. So I was thinking, partly because, and excuse me while I eat, I want this to be a nice long session. So I included my dinner time here. So we can hopefully get some good momentum going. But I was watching Jared's live stream in the Facebook Live in the Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group yesterday. And I was watching him review channels similar to how I do it. And I found myself like, I can't see what he's talking about. And between that and Sonny, who is recently telling me I should get OBS, try it out. So this is me trying out something new. Ever the canary in the coal mine for, you know, doing the various YouTube stuffs for the group. How's my audio? Do I sound okay? Am I too quiet, too loud? I've got my snowball mic. Hey, there's Sonny. I was just talking about you. I don't know if I'm doing this right. You know, and it was funny because, Sonny, I think you told me to get Streamlabs, was it? and I just got OBS, and I guess like one is a different kind from the other, and so I think I may have downloaded the wrong thing. But what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get chat up on my tablet so I can actually kind of keep up with chat a bit more. So if I go to the live stream on my tablet and pause it, will the chat still go? Audio's good, thank you guys. All right, this looks like this is working. Can I go like full screen with just the chat? Is that a thing? There's 3 dots. I click on the 3 dots and nothing happens. Oh, it's more gaming. Okay. Participants. Pop-out chat. Pop-out chat. I could probably do that on the desktop. I hope this is fun for you guys watching me, like, struggle. Hey, look, there it is. Can you guys... Okay, that's interesting. Now that won't always stay up, though, but at least it's a separate window. That's not too bad. Maybe I'll want it on my Surface. Preloaded screens, stream, yeah, okay. Is there a way that I can set this to, like, always be on top? You know, I've resisted a second monitor forever, and I'm thinking, you know what, I think I'll just use the Surface for now. Cool. Little tight on space here. Where am I going to put this thing? Put my phone over here. I think I'll get these headphones out of the way. I'm just going to... There we go. As I figure all this stuff out, I do appreciate your patience, but hopefully this is going to be a bit of a marathon session. As I go through... Where'd my napkin go? You know... Super professional operation here. I do greatly appreciate your patience. Okay, let's try this. This setup I think is kind of working. Let's do it. All right, channel reviews. That's why you're here. First person to talk in chat was Willow Graves. Hope you want your channel reviewed. Searching what should be your channel name as I eat. And I'm just gonna check the stream, see how this looks. All right, this is working, guys. I think this is working. You doing streamception, Sonny? Stream within a stream? Okay, so this is kind of cool. So I should first do sort of an introduction. I'm Ray. I'm the administrator of the Small YouTubers Boost YouTube Facebook group. Over 49,000 members of small YouTubers. It's a great community. And whenever I can find a few hours to throw together, I like doing these live channel reviews to kind of dive into some people's channels, give them some feedback and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing. There's a couple ground rules, though. Unfortunately, one of them is not no eating on stream. I'm having my dinner. I hope you don't mind. Pizza Pockets. I'm not sponsored by anybody for this video, so I just want to say that at the top. 2 ground rules when I do live streams. If you've watched before, you know them. 1, I'm not going to subscribe to anybody. Because I don't want this to be about you trying to sell me on your channel. That's not why I'm here. If I see something I like, maybe I'll go subscribe later in my own time if I remember to, whatever. I don't want that to be what this is about. This is about giving you feedback. So if I'm giving you feedback on your channel and somebody else is watching and they think, oh, hey, that applies to my channel too. I've got that problem, or I can learn something new. I want it to apply to a variety of people, because generally when I do this, I don't end up having time to review every channel. So that's part of it. And I'm not going to be watching any videos. I don't want content ID problems, for one thing. In fact, I think I can just turn off my speakers, just in case. I don't think I'll need them. But I don't need content ID problems. I don't want you thinking that I'm trying to steal or show your content without your permission. And more to the point, diving into a video would be so much more in-depth and take so much more time. If somebody were to have like a 2-hour Let's Play, reviewing that would be the whole time I have available. I couldn't help anyone else. So if people do want me to do a review of a video, I'm trying to think of a way that we can do that. The sad thing about that is and I'm doing this for free. I'm going first come, first serve, that kind of thing. But if I were to do video reviews, it'd be such a time commitment that I think I would have to charge something, which is just weird. But it's the only way I think I could control the supply and demand, because everyone would want me to watch their videos, and I simply don't have that kind of available time. I've got my own channel I'm running. I got the group I'm running. I got a day job. I got a life. I wish I could play my video games that I own, but I just haven't had time. So that's sort of what that's all about. Willow, are you okay with me reviewing your channel? I'll give her a moment to reply before I dive in there. And one thing you'll see on the right-hand side is the TubeBuddy Search Explorer. I've talked about this before, but now you can see it as I'm going. And so you'll see kind of some of the TubeBuddy integration. So I do have a link to TubeBuddy. Hopefully it's below this in the description of this video. That's a good question. Is there a link under this video? Yeah, chat, could you take a look for me? I haven't broadcast this particular way before, and it seems to be a little different. Melissa says, go ahead, I can review her channel. She's just letting the dog out. I'll give her a minute to do that. But anyways, what I'm going to be using here is, I'm using the TubeBuddy plugin, but I'm using the free version. There's no link. Okay. I'm going to put a link in chat here, in case you want to go grab it. And if you're in the Small YouTubers Facebook group, sorry, I just want to get this right. We're going to get better at this, guys, I swear. It's my first time doing it this way. Oh, I hate using a touchscreen. Okay, that looks right. Oops. Let's send that off. So if you follow that link, you'll be able to download it. I'm going to show you the free version. There's a paid version as well. If you decide to get the paid version, go into the Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group and check our announcements. We've got a code that'll save you 20%. In the group, though. It's a group discount. Not so much what I'm doing here. As I said before, this video is not sponsored, but if you do sign up through that affiliate link that I posted, and you do decide to pay for a subscription, I do get a little something, and I appreciate that, but that's not totally why we're here. Sorry, back when I heard your voice and freaking out. I'm sorry, dogs. I didn't mean to scare the dogs. But I suppose we know who let the dogs out. All right. Bad puns over. No, they're not. I'm going to get back to bad puns, I'm sure. But let's dive into this channel review here. So, all right. So Willow Grays, we got her up there. It's a nice picture. I like that. We're looking at the Search Explorer on the side window here. It looks like related searches. Shaky Graves, Willow Garden. That's interesting. The dog forgives me. Good dog. Good dog. I'm not a dog guy. I'm a cat guy, so it's nice that he forgives me. And it looks like people search green eyes, ginger, and how to. So just judging by that, thinking about what the videos are about, gardening maybe, maybe it's sort of a vlog about you personally, or it could be how-to gardening, I don't know. But that's just sort of what I'm seeing here. And why is that important? Because these are some of the things that YouTube thinks are related to your channel. So it tells you a little something about how YouTube's thinking in regards to your channel. So let's see. An awkward girl makes videos about all the things she enjoys, such as writing, painting, makeup, photography, and anything ... I like that. It's a good spot for the cliffhanger. It's pretty good. If I wanted to be really picky about SEO, I would maybe replace makes videos with something else, a little shorter, talk, something like that. I don't know. Just because I don't think people go on YouTube and search the word videos. So out of all of the words there in terms of its SEO, that might not be the best use of space, but I think it's pretty good. Hi, Vady, and everybody else who's watching. All right, so we're going to go into Willow's channel here and take a look around. As I continue to eat, please excuse my chewing. So you got the same profile picture in your banner, and it's nicely centered, so there's no cropping issues there. I'm noticing that there's no social links, so I'm going to be harping on this a bit. You probably heard me rant about it before, so brace yourselves. At the very least, I think everyone who has a YouTube channel should sign up for Twitter. And it's not that I think Twitter is the greatest thing or anything. The reason I'm saying this is because, well, it's free, but let's say you take off overnight. Let's say some random celebrity, you know, watches one of your videos and then mentions it or something. And you blow up overnight, and while you're asleep, you get millions of views, thousands of subscribers. You're a household name. That's kind of the dream, right? Prepare for success. So let's say that happens. And then some people sign up for Twitter accounts in your name. And then they're trading on your brand. So if you don't have a Twitter account and you're watching me right now, I recommend you open another window. Don't close this window. Go on your phone, something. Sign up for Twitter, if for no other reason than to lock down a username that is close to the brand you're trying to create. So you can lock that down so you can't have people pretending to be you, which has actually been a problem in Small YouTubers Boost. We've had people create fake Discord servers saying that they were set up, saying that like they have my permission and posting about it in the group. And so we've had these like rogue Discord servers out there pretending to be Small YouTubers Boost, and it's a very bizarre problem. And the second that started, the first thing I did is I went out and signed up for YouTube and got a YouTube handle that was close to the YouTubers Boost thing on Twitter, a Twitter handle, because I wanted to lock that down. Guys, I'm going to review the channels in the order that people talked in chat. So I'll get through as many as I can. I hope to do this for, approximately 2 hours. Maybe an hour and a half, maybe 3 hours. We'll see how long I last. It's depending on some other factors as well. That's why I've got supplies. I've got soda. I've got dinner. I've got some chocolate. I got water. I'm in it for the long haul. So anyways, sign up for Twitter, get something to lock down that brand, and then you can integrate Twitter into your YouTube channel so that every time you upload, every time you add a video to a playlist, it will tweet about it and you don't have to do squat. And so at the very least, it's a set it and forget it thing that you can do. It takes just a little bit of your time to set it up. And I mean, if you want to, you can go in there and really put some effort into it. That's for bonus points. But I think at a bare minimum, you should be able to do that much. And then, when it's integrated, your Twitter icon will show up on the bottom right-hand side of your banner, and it'll show that you have some more social media presence. It looks a little bit more professional. It gives somebody somewhere else to go. For example, let's say you work in an office, and you're not able to watch videos, but for some reason you've stumbled across this, and you want to see more from this person, but I can't watch videos right now. I can go look at their Twitter feed. If you've got a blog, something else, something text-based, if you've got Instagram, pictures, whatever, having those social links can really help because people can't always watch video for a variety of reasons. And it looks more professional. So that's just a thought. So the one thing I will say, that was my phone. I'm going to turn my ringer off here. With apologies to AOL, that is absolutely my mail notification sound. I'm super old school. Anyways, so up to the point of, like, before I look at your thumbnails, I still don't really know what your channel's about, other than some of the things you said in the description. So visually, in your banner, it's kind of a cool picture, but it doesn't communicate tons of information. And that's fine. It's just something to think about. So, what I'm seeing here in your channel layout, there's a couple interesting things. There's only one row of videos, so that tells me that you don't have a channel trailer. And that's fine, but I think it's something that can be relatively easily fixed depending on what kind of editing software you have. So here's my advice if you don't have a channel trailer. Sit down with a piece of paper, notepad, whatever, and oh hey, looks like people are this dynamic no. Are you subscribing to Small YouTubers Boost or to Willow Graves? Hey, either way, you're awesome. Appreciate the support. Anyways, a channel trailer is really nice. So sit down with a piece of paper and a pencil, pen, or like open up Notepad, Word, whatever you like, and just think to yourself, what are like the 5 or 6 coolest moments that you've ever had in a video? Maybe because the video was more successful than another one. Maybe it's something exciting. You captured something you weren't expecting. On my channel, Vacation Impossible, I've captured like helicopter rescues, migrants being rescued at sea by the Coast Guard, things I wouldn't expect. Sit down and think, what are the, just like, without really thinking about it, the first 5 or 6 things to come to mind, right? Jot them down, then take little snippets of each, throw them into a little video, put some music behind it, use the original audio, whatever. Make sure it's not much more than a minute. Maybe like 30 seconds, a minute and a half is kind of the range that's generally acceptable. If you have a really strong narrative, you might be able to push 2 minutes, but that's sort of it. And then just put it up there as a channel trailer. And that'll get you more views, and when people come to your page, it'll autoplay, and I know autoplay kind of sucks. I'm not personally a huge fan of it, but it's the YouTube norm. And one thing that I've discovered over the years is that YouTube really rewards people who actually... Dynamic no, both. Awesome. Thank you. It really rewards people who use all of the tools that YouTube puts in front of you. I think the algorithm thinks that if you're not using everything, if you're not making custom thumbnails, if you're not doing this or that, linking social accounts, whatever, I think that gets the sense, mathematically, not emotionally, but the sense that you're not super serious, and has trouble knowing what you're about as a result. So if YouTube gives you a tool, try to use it. Of course, I say this knowing full well that I'm still not really comfortable with Creator Studio Beta yet, and Sonny keeps getting on me about that because he's a big proponent of it, and I need to get on board. I also haven't started doing the premieres yet and other things. Anyways, excuse me while I chew. I'm looking for a napkin. I swear I grabbed one. Pinned comments, yeah, Ace of Vegas. That's well, that's one of the things that TubeBuddy shows you when you go into a video. I know I said I wouldn't click on a video, but I want to show you something that TubeBuddy can do for you here. So I'm just going to click on this first one. I'm going to pause it. Sorry, it's going to kill your watch time. But you'll see here on the right-hand side, best practices. This is awesome. I love this thing. It always... I mean, if you know about these, like, 8 things, then you can just do them. But I often miss a step. I forget. There's so many things to do with YouTube. It's easy to miss one. And one of the ones that TubeBuddy really recommends is pinning comments. So, I think that's one of those things. Ace of Vegas hates beta too. Yeah. We're probably going to have to get to know to love it because in 2019, that'll be the only choice. But maybe it'll be a little bit better and more intuitive by that time. Or maybe we can just watch some tutorial videos. Maybe I'll do some tutorial videos about it once I figure it out. Again, excuse the eating. So, but you see all this information that you got over on the side here. And I normally don't dive into this in these sorts of channel reviews, but whatever. Oh, and before you think I'm being Justin Bieber by eating my pizza pocket from the middle, it burst in the middle. So that's why. Maybe that's why he did it. With his, was it burrito or whatever? I don't know. Anyways. So you see here in the best practices, there's 8 different things. And I think they're all really good ideas for the most part. Ace of Vegas says he'll sacrifice a small goat to the YouTube gods in the hopes that it gets better. Well, you know... I hope you eat the goat afterwards so you fully, make use of it, honor its sacrifice and whatnot. So, one thing I'm seeing here for this video, since I opened it, I'm here, let's talk about it. You got a fair number of likes on Facebook, so that's great. You got some mentions on Twitter, so people on Twitter are talking about it. Whether it's your account or not, get in on that action. And link it up. And I'm not seeing any upvotes on Reddit, so finding a place to share on Reddit is a good idea. It's not easy. Reddit can be a complicated place. I once joined a subreddit. I won't name which, but I've been banned. And they had a lot of rules, a Byzantine list of rules. But one rule was only share things that you've made. And another rule was don't self-promote. Tell me how you can do those 2 things at the same time. I'd love to know. So, suffice to say, I made one post and got banned like 3 minutes later. So, Reddit can be a little tricky, but there's places out there. We've actually created a subreddit of called Small YouTubers Boost, where maybe you can share your stuff there if you want. It's not very active right now. I'm still learning Reddit, but that might be a safe sandbox for you to play in, where, our 4 rules from the Facebook group will probably apply there as well. So, follow those rules, you shouldn't get banned. Yeah. Yeah, Reddit's a tricky place, but if you can find something where you're actually being helpful to someone, I mean, that's true of everywhere. If you can help somebody on Twitter, if you can help somebody on Facebook, wherever, and your link happens to solve a problem, it shares information, it entertains, whatever it is, if you do it in a way that's helpful and appreciated, that's how you gain real, true fans, I think. So, another thing you notice here, I'm just going to plug TubeBuddy a little bit here for a second. It shows all the tags that the person's used, and if you click Show Search Rankings, watch what happens. It actually puts the number next to them as to how they're appearing in search, and I've got it set to incognito mode. Let's talk incognito mode for a second, shall we? So, if you go and you search your own stuff, maybe a keyword that you put into a video, and you see that your video comes up really high, you're thinking, I own this keyword. The views are going to come. I've made this mistake many times. The problem is the algorithm is always there. It's like Bill and Ted's The Clock in San Dimas is always running. The algorithm is almost always there. So it's remembering who you're subscribed to, who you've watched, what you've clicked like and dislike on, what you've commented on, all that kind of stuff. What next up, what recommended video you clicked on. It's got tons of data about you. And so it's showing you search results using that and keeping that in mind. So if you search yourself and you come up high, that could be misrepresenting the average user experience. So if you go into like Chrome or whatever browser you're using, and they normally have like a incognito, private, whatever they call it, window that you can open, and that blocks the whole history. They don't know you for the most part, and then you're going to get a more accurate result. And so that's what this setting in TubeBuddy does. You go into, excuse me, once you've got signed up for TubeBuddy, you go into the TubeBuddy website, and there's actual setting where you can change it from showing the search results for me to incognito. And I think incognito is more worthwhile, because that way it's not being tainted by your specific algorithm preferences. And I mean, it won't capture everyone, but it's sort of like a generic user, and I think that gives you more useful information. So let's get back to the channel here. So I talked about channel trailer. Also, got uploads. There's a list of uploads here. I'm just going to click on videos to see how many videos this person's produced. Okay. Got a decent enough number here. So I'm thinking on the home screen, you should add 2 more rows on top of the channel trailer. One row should be most popular videos. I think everyone should have their popular videos up there for whatever reason, and I think it makes sense. When someone goes to a new channel, sometimes they want to see what's your most popular stuff. They may, falsely or not, think it's your best stuff or your most recent. That might not be so accurate, but they want to see what's popular. And frankly, I think it's good for you to see too. When I stumble across my channel every now and then in my YouTube journey, and I see that, oh, my James Darren video is at 84,000 views or something, or there was something, Platinum Perks or something else, one of my videos I noticed had recently crossed 15,000 or something views. And I was like, that's kind of cool. So having it there, it's not, it's nice. And it shows off some of what, for whatever reason, is your more popular videos. So I'd say do that. That's a set it and forget it thing too. It's not like you need to manage it. And then I think you should have one playlist. Actually, let's see. Do you have playlists? Halloween series. There you go. Add another row for Halloween series. Bob's your uncle. I would also suggest making more playlists. So, anyways, there you go. Looking through the video subjects here. Do-it-yourself science workshop Christmas house. Looks like a makeup tutorial. Drunk crafting a makeup organizer. Ghost story. Yeah, so I mean, what I'm seeing here is maybe a playlist that's Christmas themed, and another playlist that's makeup themed. And it's entirely possible and okay to have videos in multiple playlists. That's totally normal. There's a setting in there where you can say which is like the official playlist for that video. I wouldn't get too caught up in that yet, but really, I think playlists are an underutilized part of YouTube that people forget about, and it can generate views. And when you build your playlist, you put in a description, and that description is subject to SEO too. So keep those SEO things in mind when working on a playlist description. Ace of Vegas sounds like you're having some challenges with your TubeBuddy plugin. Works great for me. I've used it mostly in Firefox, and I think exclusively in Firefox, and it's always worked really well for me. Okay, so let's check the well, actually, let's check your Channelytics. I love that name, Channelytics. I don't know, just so this is just going to show a little bit about the big thing I want to look at with your Channelytics is right here, channel tags. So you don't have any keywords associated with your channel. Real missed opportunity there. Now that's great because it's an opportunity that you can go in and take 90 seconds and go punch it up. Go in there, put in Halloween, Christmas, makeup, tutorial, something like that. And when you go and do that, that will factor into the algorithm. You'll do better in search and discovery when people search for your channel, see people search for your videos. It'll really help. It'll also help the algorithm figure out what you're all about. Which, getting back to your main page here on your channel layout, I noticed that you've got the popular channels thing, the box activated there. Good job. As YouTube gets to know you better, if you're in a niche that it kind of gets to understand, that will change due to no particular action on your own. It'll change over to related channels. And that's good, because that means that YouTube has a sense of what you're about, and so they're able to figure out channels that are similar to yours. It's a really good sign that the algorithm's got you. I've had it for a while. I recently lost it, got it back, lost it again. And there's no way to control it except by trying to stay focused. And so my problem is I have a travel channel, and I was making tons and tons of videos about cruises because I'm a little obsessed. I own that. And so it's suggesting cruising channels as related. But then I did a couple road trip videos, and suddenly the algorithm didn't know what I was about anymore, and it switched over to popular channels. So that's just something to watch out for. It's good to know about. Somebody wants to know how to add keywords to your channel. I'm going to show you in a second, I think. I think I can do that. But first, above the popular channels, you can activate another box where you can actually link up other channels. I recommend this. Partly because of that thing I was talking about earlier where I was saying, you know, if YouTube gives you a tool, use it, and YouTube will reward you. And the other thing is I think that if it is people in a community, whether it's a makeup or seasonal community or a YouTuber community, they see you're supporting other channels. Maybe there's someone you've collabed with. Maybe it's just someone you admire or you enjoy watching or whatever. For example, if you go to my channel, Vacation Impossible, a friend of mine, Warren Flandes, is up there. He's a musical artist. I've also got Natalie Carboni up there. She was a piano bar performer that just blew our minds when we were on a cruise. And I got the Mario Marathon, which is a charity I support. Might not all be totally on brand for me, but at least it shows people that I am supporting other creators and other things. So you know what? I'm just going to take a quick look at your About page, and then I think let's look at those keywords. And anything under the sun. That's how your description ended there. So you can go in and add. This is the page where you actually go in to add your social links. Go here, click Edit. That's where you go and put in your Twitter, whatever else you feel comfortable sharing. I would recommend not sharing your personal Facebook. But if you make a page for your channel, that might be a good idea, or a group. But at the very least, Twitter. Bare minimum. If you got an Instagram, that would be good. And then it'll create the icons for you, put them on your banner. That looks nice and professional. The links will also appear here, which is great. Another thing you can do is you can put your email address here to be displayed in a particular way. And it'll say for business inquiries, and then you have to click to reveal the email address. And that's pretty good. Like, let's say somebody comes along and wants to do a sponsorship. I see you're 46 subscribers, so probably not anytime soon, but you never know. Sometimes these things just click. Somebody sees it and they like it. And so if somebody's reaching out to you, they'll click on it, and that's kind of like proving they're a human. So the spam bots that go and spider the web looking for anything formatted like an email address will sail right by it without seeing it. But if a person clicks to reveal it, then you know that you're actually going to be contacted, hopefully by someone who's more likely a real person. They still could be cold emailing you, and it could be spammy, so there is that little risk. I think it's worth doing, because otherwise, how are you going to really know if somebody wants to do a collaboration or a sponsorship, something else? They might comment on one of your videos, and then you got to wonder, are they legit? So I think that'd be another little professional thing. I don't know what your end goal is. You could just be having fun, and that's great. If you're after sponsorships or other things, or you're open to it, having that email address is great. Let's look at some keyword settings here. I'm going to try not show you anything I'm not allowed to. I'm not monetized, so I think I'm fine, because it's only like ad rates that I think we're not allowed to share. I'm going to go to Classic. You can see my channel analytics. Oh no. All right. And then you go to Channel. You click on Advanced. And that's where you can see the channel keywords. That's where you put them in. So if you just type out a bunch of words, it'll assume each word is its own keyword. If you want them to be grouped, you can use either quotations, as you see here, or commas. After you save, the commas will become quotations. Whatever's easier for you. Simple, easy way to improve the SEO on your channel. Anyone can do it. Take 90 seconds if you don't have any, and just throw something in there. But if you set this up like I did years ago and forgot about it on my primary channel, not this one, go back and, you know, think about it every now and then. Because when I first created mine, I was all about road trips. Road trips was the jam. That was our thing. And then over the last 5 years, we've been all about cruising. So I needed to update them. And I think it helps to do that. What's going on in chat? Usually using Chrome, trying Mozilla. That's good. I'm going to try and review as many channels as I can. I'm taking it slow while I'm eating, but then I'm going to kick it into gear. And I'm going to be at this for maybe 2 hours. We'll see. So hopefully I'll get to a lot. Willow, that's great. That is absolutely why I'm here. I love to hear that this is helpful for you. So fantastic. Okay, Stupid Robot Fighting League. I don't know that I'm gonna have much for them, but let's get into it. Oop. Geez, what did that look like? Hopefully things look okay for you guys. All right. Stupid Robot Fighting League. Nice autocomplete. There's the logo. Recognize it anywhere. 340 subscribers. That is criminal. It is criminal that it's so low. That upsets me. Most used tags. Robot fighting, stupid. Hey, you're on it. That's great. Stupid Robot Fighting League is a league dedicated to fighting robots made from junk with no robotics. Check out how our proof. That's great. That is a great description. Got nothing to add. Now, I can't do the whole thing of like, figuring out what the channel's all about, because I know this one. I've known about John and the Stupid Robot Fighting League for a while now. I've even plugged them in one of my videos when they challenged me to a mukbang. This feels rude to me, but if it makes you happy, here I am. Anyways, the logo's great. I think I've looked at this before, and I mentioned this before. Minor thing. To the left and the right, outside of what looks like the license plate or whatever that black part is, there are a couple lines that are appearing. And so it looks great, except for those two little lines that look like hairs on your screen. And that takes away a little bit from the professionalism, but I'm reaching here because this is great. You've got your website, you got a Reddit. What is that Reddit? Is that a user account or is that a subreddit you've created? Okay, it looks like a subreddit. Cool. I wonder how popular that is. You know what? Screw it, I'm gonna look. 9 subscribers, a couple of them are online right now, one of them being me. Okay. Hey, you never know when these things are going to grow and take off. I did the same thing for Vacation Impossible. I'm pretty sure you got more subscribers than me. Let's take a look. I got 3 subscribers on Reddit. That's amazing to me. I tried, like, not at all to do that. When I click tabs, did that show you? Oh, I can skip you? You're just here for the party? You're not getting off the hook, John. I appreciate you're willing to give up your time, but at the same time, other people might learn too, and I'll just have less to say about you. Because you know this stuff. Look at those channel tags. Hey, he's got his name there. There's some personal association. Hey, if you're cool with having your name out there like that, then that's fine. Robot Wars, product reviews, recycling. Do you do product reviews? I guess kind of so, like things that go into the robots. I don't watch these videos as much as I would like. Let me tell you what this channel's about. I love explaining this because it's crazy and it's genius. They're not robots. They're basically like collections of stuff that are just hanging. There's no software, there's no power, there's no nothing. So it's basically like a giant model that they hang from a metal frame. And then the operator sits behind them in a chair, and they have broomsticks attached to their hands and feet that are likewise attached to the hands and feet of the robot. You put 2 of them in the cage, and then you just kind of bash each other. And it's crazy. It's out of New Zealand. It's genius. So, check them out. These guys, they put a lot of effort into it. Excuse me. It's very professional. Yeah, oh, John's done 2 reviews. Hey, that's enough. So that's cool. Let's go look at his About page. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. I don't have a lot to say about that. So there you go, John. DJ Talks, I looked at you last time, so I'm going to skip you. I hope you don't mind. Just because it was the very last live stream. I think it's been quite a while since I had looked at Super Robot Fighting League. Achilles Melee. Alright, Sonny, what you got here? I like your logo. Do people ever confuse you for an Ottawa Senators fan? Because you kind of got the Senator there in the color scheme. I know it's from a game. Just saying. Also, good search results. Gameplay. Assassin's Creed Odyssey and 4K. 4K is interesting. Do you shoot in 4K? I mean, you're screen capturing because it's a game, but is your stuff in 4K? Because, like, seriously, how big are those files? I gotta ask. Gotta be enormous. Especially for gameplay that can take like a lot of time. Dessert. Okay. Hey there, welcome to my channel. I am currently live streaming Battlefield 5 on YouTube and am mainly playing Assassins. Okay. And that's where it drops off. You have some wasted space at the beginning of this channel description. Hey there, welcome to my channel. Cut it. Nobody's searching those words. Gonna be brutal. I hope you're okay. DJ Talks made some updates. Maybe I'll circle back. We'll see. So, yeah, just cut that part out. And I've said this in other live streams. It's fine to be conversational. It's even fine to be conversational in certain kinds of text forms, like if you have a blog or something. That can be a fine place to do it. But I'm just going to adjust my camera here a little bit. That's fine. But when it's something like the beginning of your channel description, that SEO and the truncation is super important. You're only going to get so many characters. And on different platforms, it's going to truncate at different distances. Desktop versus mobile versus the app, going to look a little different. And so those first few, like, 2 lines of your channel description are super, super critical if someone ever searches for your channel this way. So put the conversational stuff in paragraph 2 if you want to keep it. That's my thought about that. Let's go to Achilles Melee. He's live right now. It's Streamception. That's funny. I'm just going to click on this because I want to see what it looks like. Ted T. Okay, and so that's you playing the game. That's cool. You're just mentioning Streamception, so I guess you're probably watching this off to the side while you're playing the game. That's pretty cool. Okay, so it's interesting. Let me take a look here. Okay. So I'm guessing you don't have a channel trailer. Or, I don't know. If you have a channel trailer but you're live, does the live stream replace the channel trailer when people come to your channel? I honestly don't know. I should experiment with that. I haven't created a channel trailer for Small YouTubers Boost yet. And I've never gone live on Vacation Impossible, so I have much to learn. But you can learn with me. The main sound. That's funny. Hi, people watching Achilles Melee. If you can hear me. So, anyways, channel trailer, what I said before still applies. I have a lot to learn about live. I'm not going to critique the live process. You've got your Twitch live stream off to the side there. I think just saying Twitch instead of Twitch live stream is probably fine. So you can truncate that down. Actually, I need to make a correction for my last live stream. I was talking about how things display on the right-hand side. Your first social link does put text next to it, and I don't think there's any way around it. But you can control what that text says. I think you can truncate it down. So I say just Twitch is good enough. If people watch and appreciate games and watch things on Twitch, they're going to know what that is. So I think just saying Twitch is fine. You got your Instagram, and I know you do jazzy things with Instagram. I can't make Instagram videos work, but I haven't tried that hard. So I know you're doing good things there, and you're on Twitter, which is fantastic. So you got your uploads. I would recommend making your upload sideways instead of up-down. I think it's a better use of space. People will see more thumbnails in a shorter period of time, and it puts more of your content above the fold. What does that mean? Back in the day, newspapers would come to you folded in half. So if you picked it up, you saw the top half of the front page, not the full thing, right away. And so everything above that crease, above the fold, super critical. More eyeballs on it. People walking by the newsstand, they saw that part of it. They'd have to open it up, buy it, open it up maybe, to see that bottom half. So like advertisers would pay more to have their ads above the fold. The same is true of the internet. We use the same expression, but basically it's talking about things that are like when you're at the first landing page, before you scroll, that's everything above the fold. So if you do it a side-to-side playlist, then you'll have more above the fold. Got featured channels there. You got popular channels. I'm sure that'll probably get to related pretty soon because your content's really consistent. I know that. You got your live streams and your created playlists. You've probably heard me talk about it before. I would add another row of popular videos just to get a little bit more stuff out there. Let's look at your Channelytics time. Got to do that. PC gameplay, how-to in Dota 2. Assassin's Creed, Dota 2. That was pretty good. You could probably add more to it, but I think you're doing just fine. So that's cool. You got a good amount of views on your channel. So that is not bad. Let's go take a look at the About page. I think this is the last thing I'm eating today, guys, so I'll stop apologizing for eating as soon as I get this done. I need the fuel to keep going because I'm going to do this for a few hours. All right. Hit that subscribe button. It won't cost you anything. Also hit the bell icon so you know when I go live. Yeah, that's pretty good. Follow me on my socials as well. I regularly communicate on Twitter. Now, those links on Twitter and Instagram are not clickable. And you've got them down below in your links, so I would take those out, honestly. Enjoy the content. That's funny. I would replace content. I don't know. I'm getting tired of the word content. It feels like, what is this, a mukbang? No, John's here, so I like to make him happy. Making you hungry. I'll stop soon, I swear. I just, I had a choice. Do I want to go live at 6:15 and eat, or do I want to have my dinner and go live at 6:45? I thought an extra half hour being live would probably be a better thing, so I can review more channels. So, I apologize. I know it's rude. But some people on the internet love it, so here I am. So yeah, no, that's pretty good. The one thing that I've been thinking about, Roberto Blake has talked about this a little bit, about having an upload schedule. I'm a big fan of his. And it's almost like having an upload schedule that's publicly well known could be a disservice. I know that goes against conventional wisdom, but hear me out. If people know that on Cinemassacre, James and Mike's Mondays comes out every Monday, then do they need to have notifications on to know when that video comes out? Not necessarily. It's a little dicey, I know. Well, like these live streams, I think somewhat like Achilles, is we don't always know when we're going to have the time. We find a couple of hours here and there, and we just go live. And so what I would even suggest saying here in the hit the bell icon thing, mention the word notifications, for one thing. But tell people, say, like, we don't always schedule, no, John, you've had enough food. I need a diet. Just say, like, it's not always scheduled. Click on the notifications to know when we're live. That's what I'm having to do with Small YouTubers Boost, the YouTube channel, here and now. It's not like I'm playing a game or anything. I've got some that I have the dates figured out. I'm going to be going live on November 23rd, November 30th, December 26th. There's going to be probably 1 or 2 more dates added before the end of the year where I'm going to be doing this. But I'm not sure of the time. Life gets in the way. I got priorities and different things that I'm going to have to do. I can't commit to a specific hour or time, and also getting into the whole time zones thing can do your head in. So I just tell people, get notifications on, because we go in the order of people chatting, first come, first serve, until I figure out how to accept bribes. I think I'm kidding. Stay tuned. So anyways, on Sonny's channel, it's pretty good. I've watched some of his stuff. It's pretty good. He's not a soft-spoken guy. And so many people in gaming videos are just swearing or screaming the whole time. So he's a little bit more chill. And so I think that's good. And it's funny because he'll dive into sometimes like the legalisms in games and stuff. And I find that interesting as well. So, little plug for my friend Sonny there. Alright, who's next? Alright, DJ Talks. Sure, I'll take another look at you. Now keep in mind, sometimes changes take a while to propagate. So, like in search results, I might not see new things. So, is that your channel? I mean, it's got to be. It's your name, right? Let's click on this. No, this doesn't look like you. Your avatar is your face. I remember, you reminded me of somebody from high school. This doesn't look like your channel. Little brand confusion there. Let's filter my search by just channels. There you are. That's interesting. An amateur podcast. Well, you've got more videos and you've got more subscribers than this competition. So that's good. What's interesting? I'm just going to take a quick look at them. Just because I want to hit them with the Chanalytics. I want to see what keywords they're using. Podcast, that's it. All right. I don't know these guys, but you can take them down, DJ. You can unseat them in the search results, I think. Just get caught up on chat here. Hey, Sonny, that's cool. If you want to make the changes, that's great. Everyone keep in mind that it's not like I'm not YouTube certified or anything. I have my personal channel that hit 1,000 subscribers last week, I think it was. A week or two ago. I've been around for 12 years on YouTube, but I've only taken it seriously for the last 2, and I'm just the admin of a large Facebook group, so I'm no expert necessarily. I'm just giving you ideas. But if the idea resonates with you, you think it's good, you want to use it, you go right ahead. If I inspire you to do something, it's fantastic. It means it's worth my time. All right. If you want to get honest reviews of shows you probably watch in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, like Thundercat, and that's where it drops off. So I don't remember exactly what it said before, but this does look better. It's great. I get an idea of what you're about right away. Watch should probably be in past tense, so that should be watched with an ED on the end. And these are just little nitpicks. Please excuse them. A space after the comma between 80s and 90s, and then an S on 90s, just for consistency of appearance. And it's little things like that, but and I've talked about this before, if you do the little things well, then people are more likely to, adding a bunch now. Adding a bunch of what there, Willow? What are you adding? Keywords? But yeah, if you get the little niggly things that are a little tedious, if you get those right, it looks more professional, and people are more likely to think, hey, he put the effort in to get that right, he's going to put the effort in to get his channel pretty good, and that can be kind of funny because people aren't necessarily conscious of it. They're not consciously having this internal dialogue of like, oh, there's no space after that comma, I'm not checking on him. It's just like an impression that they get almost subconsciously. So let's just use every tiny little thing to our advantage to go ahead. So I think I talked about this before. The banner is still, it says subscribe now, new episodes, but other than that I can't see anything, so I think there's a scaling issue that needs to be addressed. My suggestions. Cool, Willow. I really hope they work out for you. Remember me when you're famous. Most epic Thundercats review. That's cool. That's kind of funny. I like the little, like, I paused it right at the beginning of this channel trailer, which is actually just kind of a video, but it's serving as your channel trailer. That's fine. I do that too. I've got a time lapse of Alaska right now serving as my channel trailer, so I don't even follow my own advice sometimes. This is a review of the 2011 Thundercats series. Originally aired from 85 to 89, ran for 4 seasons, then was rebooted in 2011 for 1 season. It's a really good description, solid description. For the title, most epic in review should all have the first letter capitalized for that professional consistency thing. Otherwise, that's great. That's a really searchable description for that video. So great there. Got some featured channels there. I'm not seeing the popular / related box. I do recommend you activate that. It's interesting. You've got election breakdown part 1 and part 2. I'm very curious to maybe check that out later because I'm kind of a bit of a political junkie. I posted on my blog about this election twice now, and I was worried that it would turn off somewhere between 35 and 50% of my audience. The response thus far has been completely positive, but partly because I kept what I was talking about focused and on brand for me. I run a channel that's about travel. I have a blog about travel. So I was talking about what the election's impacts on traveling to the United States could be. Within that focus, I think I did a pretty good job. It was actually I called it, the blog entry called Politics was my most popular blog that I've written on Tumblr. Vacationimpossible.tumblr.com if you want to check it out at some point. But that is that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to drop that TubeBuddy link in here again for anyone who's just recently joined us, since it's not in the description. Just in case people are wondering about some of the features that I have on my browser that might not be on yours. And I hate touchscreens so much. You know what? Hey, I found my napkin. There we go. I've got my Microsoft Surface and I got my keyboard. Screw touchscreens. Now that I don't have food in front of me, I'm kicking it with the keyboard, and this is going to be so much easier. Okay. Copy that to the clipboard and post it. All right. Getting back into it here. So yeah, let's take a look at, he's got uploads, got popular uploads, he's got his series. That's great. We talked about that last time. Check the channelalytics. What do we got for keywords kicking around here? That's pretty good. I would recommend putting a couple more in, like Thundercats, TV, 90s, 80s, 2000s, something like that. I think that would bolster it. But it looks like you're doing pretty good here. You got your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram. They're all populated over there. That's cool. No, I think you're doing pretty good. I don't think I have a lot of useful additional feedback from beyond last time. So now it's time for Very Unusual. It's always a marathon, not a sprint, he said some time ago in chat when he first spoke. Not doing great on the autocomplete here, but there we go. Let's take a glance. I'm out of frame. Okay. All right, let's see here. Plants, berry, fruit. Grizzly, berry, unusual. Very unusual. It's interesting. There's some things going on here. So, the icon that you have, the text is a little hard to read. I mean, you've got a bit of a stroke slash, outline, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Very Unusual is a great name. I completely agree with Bernard Johnson on that one. So it looks like there's a puppet and a person, which is very unusual. I just had to hit the pun. So that's kind of cool. That looks interesting. And yeah, so the text, you have an outline or a stroke on it, and you also have a drop shadow. I think I haven't looked into your channel yet, but a blockier font would read better. It might not go with the style and the aesthetic that you're going for. There is a font that I read about in Scientific American Puppet Mechanics something. I was flying back from Hawaii, and it was going to be a long flight, and we were at the airport pretty early for complicated reasons I won't get into. And I was like, you know what? I haven't bought a magazine in a really long time. And so I bought like a Scientific American or something, and they actually had an edition where they talked about YouTubers. And someone had given an interview, and they actually talked about the font that they use. And so there's a font that is free that you can Google, find it, and install it on your PC. It's called Bebas. Bebas. There's also a variant called New, Neue, I think. Those are kind of blocky, but they scale really well. And so at various different resolutions, they look pretty similar and hold their image quality quite well. So I've recently switched to that. I first did Bebas. It was good. Then I got Bebas New, and it was better. That's what works for me. The concern is then you might start looking more like all the other YouTubers out there, because it is a very popular font, so that is a fair concern. But I just wanted to mention that in case it's something that might work well for you. Furry Goth AMVs, which, as I understand it, stands for Anime Music Video, which I'm curious about the copyright issues surrounding that, and gaming live streams. I'll be using this is my main channel for everything non-ministry related, and to keep. So I presume that there's another channel that you run that is ministry related. So this is pretty good. Up until live streams, I think it's solid. Solid beginning right there. That is fantastic. But I'll be using this as my main channel for everything non-ministry related, and to keep. I think that that's fine if you want to have that later in your description, but this is the space that you really need to use to suck people in. And so let's really use that space. You know, what is like... Yeah, you could talk a little bit more about your gaming live streams. Gaming makes up 1/3 of all of YouTube, much like vlogs do. So, for example, in the Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group, we don't accept game or vlog on its own as a description to get your post approved. It has to have something else. You got to narrow it down. You're already doing that, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to the gaming side, what gaming platform are you on? Your PS4, your PC, you doing the Switch, you doing old school retro. You could talk maybe a little bit more about that. And is there a comedy dynamic to your channel? Looking at the profile picture, I'm thinking that there is, but I don't know. You know, do you do reviews along with the live streams, or is it just like gameplay? You could dive into that a bit more. Let's get into the channel. Very unusual. Gonna pause your channel trailer. You got a channel trailer here. Looks like you're doing some work with a green screen. You're doing better than I did the one time I tried a green screen. Your banner's pretty cool. I think I'm seeing sort of what's happened with regards to this. And it's not a puppet. I see it's sort of a costume. I think that you were making your profile picture a scaled down version of your banner. And honestly, I think you want your profile picture to be something a little different. Partly because, on your channel, they're seeing both. I mean, I don't know. You got brand alignment there, which is good. It's recognizable. The reason I'm saying this is your banner looks beautiful. It's fantastic on my desktop. It looks great. Unusual is so crisp and sharp, it jumps out at you. It's like, what, Monster Energy drink looks a little bit like that, but not as good. So, like, that looks great for a banner. Berry's pretty good. I think the red against the purple is, it's not as crisp looking as the Unusual, but this looks great. You got the two-tone, you got the two persons there. That's fantastic. Your banner's great. I wouldn't really touch the banner except maybe change the purple and berry to something else, possibly. Maybe black. I don't know. Just to make it pop a little bit more. But it doesn't scale super well down, so I don't know how to resolve that necessarily, except maybe switching the font up and doing a little less with the colors. I think it's the purple on purple is part of the problem, so the berry part is particularly hard in the icon to read. I don't want to harp on it too much, just something to consider. So the thing serving as your channel trailer is It's My Birthday and I Got My First Tattoo. That is a great title. That's fantastic. A lot of people would be interested in that. It's a 17-minute video, which is a little long for a channel trailer, but it's not an actual trailer. It's serving as one. But hey, if it auto plays and somebody sticks around, that's a lot of watch time you'll be getting there, so that's not a bad thing. Today's my 25th birthday. That was 2 weeks ago, so happy birthday for 2 weeks ago. And I'm super excited. I wanted to share my celebration with you all. This is my birthday haul, and I also got a present I've wanted since I was 21, and that is a tattoo. I finally got my first tattoo. I feel like a real goth now. Anyway, enjoy. That looks pretty good. I don't have too much to say about that description. You've got your uploads here. Your thumbnails are pretty interesting. You got some good diversity there. So, and I do see that, yeah, the font there's a little consistency there. Pick your niche. Oh, I get it. I kind of like this. It's like you've got playlists based on certain things. Your music videos, your live stream games, your vlogs. I like that. That's a really nice layout. That's good. And then you got popular uploads and then main channel. Again, I would suggest popular uploads. Instead of having a list that goes down, I would have it go across just so that you can get more in earlier, higher up. But other than that, that's pretty good. Counterculture Christians. Yeah, so that was sort of the ministry thing I see there. It's got about 70 more subscribers than this channel. Fair enough. But hey, for a bonus, looking at that, the description. This channel has been through many metamorphoses. Metamorphosis? Yeah, I don't know how to say the plural of that. This channel is my platform to reach as many people as I can. I want to enlighten people, give them something to laugh at that will inspire. So again, I think for that one, most of those things are not, for the first line, not super searchable. For that channel, I would suggest going with, this is my platform to reach as many people as I can and go from there. Quite possibly. I don't know that a new viewer would be super interested in the history. And again, you can put that further down in the description. Just a thought. You got popular channels. So it sounds like you're in a few different niches. So that popular channels may never flip over to related. And that's just the way it goes. And it sucks because and it sucks for me too, because my main channel, Vacation Impossible, I want to be about travel in all its forms. I want to inspire people to travel differently, also cheaply and more often. But if I'm going to do that, if I just narrow my focus down to cruises, I would probably do better in the algorithm. But I want to be about more than that. And so that's a struggle that I'm facing, is if I just super niche down, I'll probably be more successful. But is that what I want to do? I don't know. It's a difficult choice. I was at Portland Retro Gaming Expo last month, and I was at Pat Contry's panel. He's Pat the NES Punk. And he's done a bunch of different series on his channel. He has the Ask Frank series, the Pat the NES Punk videos. He also did something called Flea Market Madness, where he would go to a flea market and buy retro games. And that was really popular. And so I was at his panel, and he was talking about, if I had just focused solely on Flea Market Madness, I'd have 1 million subscribers. He's currently sitting at 250,000. And I that it's relatable, because it's the algorithm would have loved you for it. And he's like, yeah, I would be invited to VidCon and I'd be called the flea market guy no matter what I try to brand myself as, but I would be doing really well on YouTube. And so if we look at it as a creative, artistic passion endeavor, it's narrowing down to service the machine, the software. That's That's tough. So yeah, but you know, it could very well, it'll work for you. It's just you might not get a lot of love from the algorithm. And so, like, for some people, if you can get doing really well on like recommended, then that can be enough to just take a channel off. But I think with a dual niche channel such as yours, really staying active in communities is what's going to drive the traffic so that the channel finds success, more so than relying on the algorithm. It's just my personal thoughts. Let's check the Channelytics. Care of TubeBuddy, the free plugin, and also paid if you want. PlayStation. All right. Too unique. Oh, you say it out loud and you know what it is. Cool. Yeah, no, it looks like you got some good stuff there. I noticed that you do have Christian there, but you were saying that a lot of the ministry stuff was on the other channel. So I might consider dropping that keyword if you don't really talk about faith that much on this channel, just to at least then narrow it down a little bit, to focus a bit more clearly. But if you do, then that's fine. Hey, hey, right. TubeBuddy tells me when other people are TubeBuddy users, you are already a user, so you know what you're doing. That's cool. But like I say, all of my advice is just if anything, I want to inspire you guys to have thoughts that you think are good for you. Don't do something because I just told you to. I mean, you can, but you got a lot of social links there. That's looking good. Let's check your about page. The algorithm hates your goth content. That's interesting. You have TubeBuddy, so I'm curious if you ever keep an eye on your demonetization audit. I'm wondering if maybe some of the goth terms aren't advertiser friendly. I'd be kind of surprised, but I'd be very curious to see if that was the case. Come on, about page load. You got your email address there. You're in the United States. Got your links. Yeah, okay. So what I would do is I think you could beef up the description a little bit. After gaming live streams, maybe just talk a little bit about some of your more successful videos, or, you know, do you do comedy? Do you do what? Like a little bit, just another sentence or two. Then that would push the next part sort of lower, which I think is where it would need to live, and get more keyword SEO in your channel description. And I think you'd be doing well there. So that was pretty good. What was this Ace of Vegas? The algorithm will be like, well, you think you can do whatever you want? Well, we'll put you on sports betting channels. Yeah, the algorithm, it's a love-hate thing. One thing that drives me just nuts sometimes is when people are like, oh, YouTube isn't supporting, you know, small creators. And it's like, it's not like there's a guy back there who's twirling a mustache being like, yes, this one particular guy we will definitely put to the bottom. It's all software, and it's machine learning software, which is like, like the Terminator, a learning computer. So it's like, it's rewriting itself as it goes. And how to explain that in a simple way? I think it's like, we tried using this formula, showing people a bunch of videos we thought they would like. They clicked on this one and not that one. What do we learn from that? Because they didn't click on that one, maybe we're not doing it quite right. And so it adjusts itself. That's sort of I think a simple explanation of how that works. But the problem is that they said it, and then it kind of evolves on its own, hopefully not into Skynet, but it, as a result, it's not like there's a person updating the code all the time. I mean, maybe there is, but there's also this sort of, this dynamic where it adjusts itself based on human behavior and how successful it finds itself to be. So it's hard to blame specific people for that. And so assigning it an intent is I don't think a great use of time. But I feel it too. Like, I've had videos that, like, I had my Six Flags video, which, hey, I got so much hate for, but the algorithm loved it for a period of time, and then it just stopped recommending it, and the views just ground to a halt. I hit 8K, and that was it, game over. Maybe one day, I'm thinking about going back and redesigning the thumbnail and using TubeBuddy to tweak the SEO and the keywords a little bit, and maybe the description, title a little bit, and see if I can re-jumpstart that video. Although I don't know if I want to get that kind of hate again, because, oh my god, the comment section, like, people legit wanted me murdered. It was ridiculous. But at the same time, I like the views. People often ask about haters. How do you deal with the haters? Bernard, no, I haven't read the paper, but were you the one that I was going to collab with and you were doing a video on that, or am I confusing you with someone else? Because I did watch your first 1 or 2 videos about that, and yeah, you talked about like sort of that alignment piece. I forget, I think you used a different word, but that really resonated with me. It made a lot of sense. That was actually around the time when I was thinking like, oh, I need to niche down if I want to control the algorithm. So what was I talking about? Oh, right. The hate. What do you do with the hate? The haters. The thing is, let's talk thumbs down for a second. Thumbs up, thumbs down. They are both interactions. So here's the messed up thing if you haven't heard this. A thumbs down on your video is better than not clicking anything. How messed up is that? But think about it. Part of the reasoning behind that is, you know what? You engaged with your audience so much that you made them feel something. You made them take action, even if it was kind of against you. And so YouTube's like, you connected. And that connection has value, even if they don't. And the funny thing is, a couple of mods, little secret here, I don't know how public they've been about this, so I'm outing the mods from the mod chat a little bit in the Facebook group. I hope I don't get in trouble. They've been, a couple of them have been attempting things where they'll ask a question in their video. And they say, you know, if you think I should play this game, thumbs up. If you think I should play that game, thumbs down. And it's apparently really boosted their standing in the algorithm, even though they're getting tons of dislikes as a voting mechanism. But that's because it's getting those interactions. So very unusual. Absolutely. You get what I'm saying, and I'm saying this more for the other people. Engagement is engagement in YouTube's eyes. That having been said, a thumbs up scores you way better than a thumbs down. Hey, look at that. There's my thumbnail. I should make that my thumbnail. Anyways, yeah, so don't feel bad about the thumbs down. You know, and if you have the TubeBuddy app, one of the stats that it gives you on your videos is your like to dislike ratio. And so, yeah, like, you know, it'll be green if you got a lot more likes than dislikes, orange if you're kind of, you know, 2 to 1 or worse. And yeah, in the 2 to 1 range. And then if you're worse, gives you a red one. And so fair enough. I mean, if you haven't asked for a voting mechanic, it might be an indication of certain things. Like if you get a lot of dislikes on one video, maybe it's something that your audience doesn't want. You can, what will I have to do to get my channel review? I'm going chronologically by the order people have commented in chat. That's why it's really good to have notifications on for these. It's first come, first serve. If I could figure out a way for you to bribe me, I would totally do it, but I don't have a way to do that. So we're going to go chronologically, but I'm going to be here for a while, so hopefully I'll get to you. If not, hopefully some of the things I talk about apply to you as well. So that's thumbs up, thumbs down. What about comments? So the hate comments, the people who said that I should be sterilized and never be allowed to have children and be murdered in my home, and that I should never be allowed in an amusement park again, and that I'm a cancer on the culture, and all this stuff just because I got kicked off a ride. And I was following the rules. You can watch that video. It's getting kicked off the rides at Six Flags on Vacation Impossible. And, you know, the supervisor was lying about us and calling us names and stuff, and it's all on video. And it's a long video. It's like 16 minutes, and partly because I could have chopped it to make us look better or worse, and the same to Six Flags. And I decided I needed to show the whole thing so people can form their own opinions. As a result, a lot of the opinions were not favorable towards me. And that's fair. I think the death, they weren't threats. They weren't saying they were going to kill me. They were saying that they wanted me to die. There's a thin line there. That's not really a threat. I didn't enjoy it. But at the same time, every time I see one of those, I'm like, oh, always nice to meet a fan. I remember the first time I got one of those hate comments, and I was like, you know, I really should be upset, but all I can think of is, looks like we made it. It's a step to becoming YouTube famous, having haters. And the thing is, those comments are interactions. Yes, it's pretty hateful. Oh, yeah, that's fair. It's not a threat, but it's hateful. I will grant you that. Some of the comments that they put in. But the thing is, oh, Achilles, you recently got one. I hope you replied. Do it. Because reply politely. Some things they don't give you enough to work with. You know, but if you can, if there's something substantive they're talking about, like a lot of people in the Six Flags video, they say, you're just out to make trouble. And I would reply like, no, we legitimately made every effort to follow the rules. And the video tried to show that. Or, oh, good job, Achilles. You know, somebody would be like, yeah, you know, that information is publicly available. And I'm like, yes, it is now. The video was filmed November of whatever year. And so I would try to engage with them, if there was something tangible that I could kind of work with, where I can reply calmly and professionally. I mean, not immediately as soon as I see the comment, because I'm like, grr, and then like, okay, a little later in the day, I'm like, all right, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to reply. And the thing is, your audience could see those replies, so you're not going to want to engage in a name calling thing, because that doesn't make you look appealing to most people. But the thing about the haters and the trolls is they always got to get the last word. So use it. Turn them into fuel. Grind them up into gasoline. Not by arguing and fighting them necessarily, but by interacting with them to some degree. Because then they come back. Because they got to reply. They can't just let you have the last word. And so it goes back and forth. And so long as you're constantly respectful, no matter how vicious they become, you come out looking better of the two. And every time they come back, it's another interaction and another view. The video starts up again when they come in to watch it. You get a little bit of watch time. Maybe they pause it. Maybe they let it run. I don't know. I think it's worth a try. So it's hard. It's hard, especially if it gets really personal. And they could comment things that could make you look bad. Sometimes all I do is I give the comment a thumbs down and don't reply. That was what I was doing on Vacation Impossible when someone would come along and talk about sub for sub, which is totally not cool and not allowed in the Facebook group. That was just my reply, because I still wanted comments and interactions and stuff, and maybe that wasn't the right choice. I don't know. I don't want YouTube thinking but I'm hoping that my thumbs down shows YouTube, at least in some manner, that I'm not doing this. And they can see who I subscribe to and who I don't behind the scenes. They know I don't do sub for sub. So, you did reply and you never commented again. And that's fine too. Because, then the toxicity has ended. And that's a fine outcome too. You set yourself up for a win-win no matter what happens. They come back and you get more watch time, views, and interactions. They leave you alone, and, I mean, if you can win an argument on the internet, at the very least you got the last word, and hopefully you came off looking like you're respectful to your audience, even when they're hostile to you. And, that shows a certain acceptance and professionalism that hopefully creates a safe space for your audience to maybe interact with. Estimating how long it will take. Yeah, channel 3, that sounds about right. I know. I'm trying to give value here. I'm doing this all for free. I get nothing out of this, so let's see what else. Who's the next person? Bernard Johnson. All right. I find it interesting, and I think about people who use what I presume is their real names. I don't know. It makes me a little nervous. I come from, I'm in my late 30s. I come from a time when the internet was so new that people were very distrustful of it. And I remember back in like 1998 or some other damn time reading a Wired article that it was like security by obscurity. If you didn't ever use your real name, then, people couldn't necessarily tie it to you. So if somebody wanted to dox you or try to get you in trouble at your day job or whatever, and so I've really resisted using my real name too, because what if I take off overnight? What if that thing of like, an hour into my sleep, somebody in Indonesia who's super famous, a pop star or something, tweets about me, and I wake up to a whole different world online? It could happen. No one's betting on it. I hope no one's counting on it. But if it happens, am I gonna have to have protect people I care about from being harassed by people who hate my Six Flags video, for example. And so I find that interesting, and that's why I try not to use too much of my real name, on the internet, because I want to kind of have that kind of security. Anyways, Bernard Johnson, we're looking for you. What's your icon look like? Code something. Oh, code everyday. There it is. Gotcha. All right. It's interesting. Saxophone, pastor, Anthony Johnson Bernard Morley. That's the other thing too, is if you're using your real name, there's other people out there who likely have it. My real name, there's about 300 people on the planet with my identical first and last name, which again, yes, obscurity keeps you safe, but if one of those becomes famous, and some of them have for not great reasons, some for not great reasons, some for good reasons, you may or may not get your brand confused with them to your positive or negative. So anyways, 1911 and 2013, those are interesting tags that are coming up in association with the name. So I'm not sure if you're a pastor or not, or if you play the saxophone. If you do play the saxophone and you don't have videos of you playing the saxophone, you might want to try one. Okay, code every day. I think that's kind of cool. That might be a good name for the channel. That might be a little bit more searchable. In fact, let's see here. Keyword stats. Well, maybe we'll do a little keyword research playing later if we have time. Arr, I'm a pirate. All right. A channel for us to grow and learn the newest technologies and practices together. I'm a junior web developer looking to find my... This is pretty good. I would replace the first 4 words with the word let's. So then or the first 5 words. It'd be, let's grow and learn the newest technologies and practices together. Because I don't think people are searching the word channel. It moves everything up a little earlier, so hopefully it doesn't get cut off at an inconvenient place. And you get to the point a little faster. Nobody searches the word channel. That's my suggestion. And I know I asked... Oh, the channel's tied to your career, so it's part of your personal brand. That's totally fine. Were we, sorry, I'm just going to scroll through chat for a second here. I lost track. I had asked you earlier. Oh, yeah. Okay. You are the person that we were going to do an interview. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I had been in the gear of I need to get subscribers to my primary channel to get that 1,000. And so I was doing tons of collabs. Now that I've hit it, I'm thinking of shifting my time, rightly or wrongly, from collabs to this kind of thing, where I can help creators multiples at a time rather than doing a one-to-one collab. That having been said, hey, I said I was going to do it. I give you my word. I'm going to honor it. But my philosophy before was if there was a collab opportunity and I could do it and I could commit to doing it, then I was going to do it. And then I would agree to it. And then and only then would I check the channel out of who I was dealing with. Then I would check the social blade. I didn't want my decisions to be driven by subscribers. And I still believe in that. But now it's just a question of having limited time. How do I want to utilize it? I don't know. It's all an evolution. We'll see. 29 videos, 47 subscribers. I know I've watched a couple of your videos. YouTube Algorithm Explained. That was one I watched. OBS for Beginners. Man, I should have watched that today. Maybe I will after this, and I can use this software a little bit better. Hopefully I'm doing an okay job and not missing out on great stuff. Barry Unusual, thanks for the subscription to my primary channel. That's great. Forget what the other video of yours I watched. I know I watched at least 2. Maybe I think there was a second part to the algorithm one. Oh yeah, part 1. I also watched part 2. That's what it was. If I can just talk about your videos for a second, because I have watched a couple. I think that what you cover is really interesting, and that won't be too hard to find an audience. Most people who are in the Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group, they think that they're going to be their audience. That I'm going to share my gaming video and get tons of views. You can share your gaming video and get a few views. But to think that all the other creators in our group are going to be interested in that particular niche, I don't think it's realistic. That having been said, for people who are creating content that helps creators, absolutely. So the YouTube Algorithm Explained video, if you were sharing that in the group and I don't know because there's a lot going on there, but I would recommend sharing those videos every now and then, because that is your niche. That is your target audience for those videos. So, don't go more than once a day. I would suggest maybe once a week or something, or maybe sharing it on the daily thread that Andreas posts every now and then. But that's part of why I watched it, is because it's something that I'm interested in as a creator. OBS for Beginners. I see people all the time in the group asking about that. If they're not asking for links, you could reply to their comment or their post and say, hey, I've got a video that explains it. If you want, just let me know. And you offer it, and then if they say, yeah, please send me the link, then you post it. I think those 3 videos, unless I don't know how many of those YouTube algorithm videos you did. I know I watched the first 2. You really don't mind. Are you asking, would I mind if you shared it in the group? I think that it's fine because it's relevant. One thing I want to talk about with the Facebook group, though, is people think that I don't have to follow the no link dropping rule if it's relevant. Everyone's going to think their stuff is relevant. Somebody's going to be like, oh, my makeup video is not getting a whole lot of views. And somebody's going to be like, well, here's my StarCraft, walkthrough tutorial that got tons of views. And you're like, how is that related? So we don't open that door at all. It has to be asked for links. That having been said, more generally about writing your own post or sharing it on the daily thread, I think our group would get something out of it. I got something out of it. And I think for the same reasons others would. So I think that that's fine to share it there. Just don't overdo it. And people will probably tell you very quickly if they think you're overdoing it. Just talking about your videos, though, what I remember thinking when I watched them was that your subject matter is interesting and you were an engaging speaker. and you were calm and interesting to listen to, and that was nice. But I remember thinking that the audio quality could be a bit better. So if you have the opportunity to, if you're using a separate microphone, I recommend getting like a Snowball or something. That's what I'm using right now. Works great for my podcast. Little $10 pop filter on top of that microphone. Bob's your uncle. And I thought that the lighting was a little weird. Well, weird is not the right word, but you seemed a little washed out. I think the image quality felt a little low. I think you were talking about getting a new camera. But it was like there was a lot of light on the white wall behind you, and as a result, you came out looking kind of gray because of how the camera was adjusting to that lighting level. So what I would suggest doing is trying to have more light on you versus the background. Like, I don't know how I'm coming across right now. I've got this like adjustable light over here, so I could do something like that. I don't know if that washes me out, makes me brighter. What I'm doing right now is I'm actually pointing it against a wall that I'm facing. So this is it pointed directly at me. I'm going to blind myself for a minute here. That's the light pointed directly at me. But if I pointed at a nearby wall, the reflected light shows a little bit, I think, more naturally. Big motivation. Yeah, no, and hey, I appreciate it. I think it did help adjust and inform my knowledge of YouTube. So anyways, just some thoughts about lighting there. And, you know, you can go to, if there's an IKEA anywhere near you, I joke that IKEA, if people need lights, it's fantastic, because if you've got any dollar amount, they got a light for you. You got $5, you got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There'll be a different light at every single bloody price point. So, I mean, you know, oh, you did get a new camera, worked with some lighting stuff, and slowly playing with editing audio. Fantastic. So, I mean, like I said, I only watched those 2 videos, and I know that they were probably about a month ago, I think that happened. So, I mean, it's probably already evolved since then. Just thinking about audio, here's a tip for people about something that you can do for audio. I'm going to walk you through how I record audio for my podcast and my podcast clips. For one thing, if you have your own separate microphone, you want to record your audio separately from your video. But how do you do that? Because then you have to sync it back up again. And what do you do with that audio? So here's how I do it. I have my microphone plugged into possibly my Surface, and I might have my camcorder, you know, somewhere filming me as well. And so I get them both recording. And one thing you do is you wait, and you have 3 to 5 seconds of silence. Because there's ambient noise in the room. There's your hard drive spinning. There's the heating system. There's some different things that are hopefully constant sounds. I mean, I recorded a podcast a few in hotel rooms. One thing I always remember is unplug the mini fridge, because that'll kick on and kick off, and then there's a sound problem. But if there's any constant ambient noise, an HVAC that is steadily going, you can remove it in Audacity, which is a free piece of software. So if you don't have Audacity, go and download it. You need a plugin called Lame if you want to export it as MP3. That's all free, and it's easy to find. And so record it in Audacity. And so you have 3 to 5 seconds of silence. Then clap 3 times. Sounds crazy, right? Here's why. The clapping will create a spike in the audio waveform. And having about 3 of them in close succession gives you a pretty good thing you can use to calibrate. So, you save it in Audacity. Then you go into Audacity and you highlight the section of the timeline where you were silent for 3 to 5 seconds. You choose Effect and Noise Reduction and click Get Noise Profile. What it does is it analyzes that 3 to 5 seconds of silence, and it tries to identify any sound that was constant throughout. Then, after you get the noise profile, Control A, which is the shortcut for Select All, it'll select your whole audio timeline. You go back into Effects, Noise Reduction, and then you apply it. And it will take the sound it identified from the silence and remove that from the whole timeline, and the ambient noise disappears. I've done this in offices where the HVAC was constantly running, and I was recording something, and someone says, "This is going to sound horrible," and I'm like, "No, it will be fine." And I did that, and I played them the audio afterwards, and they were like, "It sounds like you're in a recording booth," and it can, and it's all free. So that's fantastic. If you're having audio issues, go and do that. But we're not done. You got to get that improved high-quality audio. It's better because it's from a separate mic. You got the pop filter. You've reduced the noise. Now I got to sync it back up with my video. You go into Adobe Premiere, whatever your editing software is, and you put the video on the timeline, and then you put the audio on the timeline as well. And you look for the 3 spikes in the sound waveform that comes from the clapping, and you line them up. And you might need to, play with that a little bit, but for me, it happens pretty quick because you got 3 spikes to work with in close proximity. It's pretty easy. You might have to tweak it a little bit. What you're going to want to do is listen with both audio active in the editor. Give it a listen, and if you don't hear an echo, then they're synced. Then you delete the audio from your camcorder, and you're good to go. Bob's your uncle. That's how I do it for my podcast, and it's cheap and relatively easy. The most expensive thing in that process is your camcorder and microphone, which the camcorder you should probably already have. So there you go. There's my quick tutorial on how to have better audio in your videos. I might be telling a lot of you things you already know, but with a group of 49,000 people, and who knows who's going to watch this on a replay, I don't know my audience necessarily, so I'm going to try and keep it broad. Hopefully it's interesting. Get rid of all the clicks from gaming. Clicks from gaming could be a trickier thing to do. I think getting a quiet mouse. There are mice that click quieter and louder, and then placing your microphone on the opposite side of where your mouse clicking hand is. That alone might do a lot. The clicks might be, I don't know if noise reduction would work on clicks because they're intermittent, not constant, but hey, it's worth a shot. Too many people don't know about Audacity. All right, okay. Anyways, getting into the channel here. I went on a huge tangent, but I hope it's helpful. Okay, so you were talking about how you're using this to promote yourself and your profession, and so you got your LinkedIn linked there. That's the first time I've seen LinkedIn on a channel, but it makes perfect sense because of the privacy issues I was talking about. That's why I don't have my LinkedIn attached, but that makes good sense. And you got Twitter. And I don't know if you guys can hear it, but my fridge just kicked in. Talking about that noise thing. I could have unplugged the fridge, but if I'm going to be at this for 3 hours, I figured that's probably not a smart thing. Let me just quickly check how I'm doing for time. Things are okay. All right. So you've got a website here, codepen.io, trip 4077. That's interesting. Yeah, I could go on about trying to unravel that username. There's a lot going on there, but that would be a total diversion and not about YouTube at all, so I'll save that for myself. GitHub, trip 4077. Clearly it's a common username. That's cool. I have a very unusual social icon list. Yeah, I suppose. I've heard GitHub, but I don't know what it's about. The CodePen thing, I'm thinking, is probably not your personal website, given that it seems to have a user directory name thing there in the URL. But I don't think YouTube knows what it is because it left it as a website icon, which is fine. So I think it's okay. And hey, unusual is not a bad thing. It means you stand out and you're different from the crowd. Code every day. And you've got this, I guess that's the GitHub icon there, which is interesting, which I'm guessing is a coding website of some kind. And you've got the linked, or the icon for Twitter, but in a glowing red, and then part of the Facebook icon in the glowing red as well. My suggestion, I say this every time I see social icons that are embedded in the image of a banner, is that since they're not clickable, I would generally caution against it. So you have code every day. I'm wondering if there's something else you could do graphically to show what your channel's really about. Actually, you know what? I've got an idea. I just want to... Do you have a slogan? Because, you've got a lot of different people out there have slogans. And I'm thinking you could have something like breaking down the code behind everyday life. Or something like that. Like, breaking down... I kind of like that phraseology. Breaking down, unmasking, simplifying, revealing, something like that, because that's what it felt like for me. When you were talking about that algorithm, you took something that it would take me forever to understand if I tried myself, and you instantly got it down to a usable level. So, something about simplifying, explaining, breaking it down. Breaking down the codes behind everyday programs. A catchphrase, something like that. Hey, I'm Bernard Johnson, and I'm here to break down the codes behind the world. Something. A nice catchphrase. You put it at the end, at the beginning, I don't know. I mean, it might feel unnatural, but it would be a great branding thing to do. You think about some people out there like Roberto Blake. He says, create something awesome. And I watch him so much, I almost said it myself the other day, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to steal his line. But it could be really consistent. And the thing is, I think you say that you're bad at that. If you're talking about explaining things for people who don't fully get it, they're code repositories for portfolios. That's cool. If you're saying that you're bad at breaking it down, I disagree. I think you have a skill for that. I think at least in the 2 videos I watched, you did it quite well. But maybe it might not be the core of what you're up to necessarily, but I mean, you say a channel for us to grow and learn the newest technologies and practices together. That's great. Don't change that. I'm a junior web developer looking to find my place in the tech industry. Maybe drop that looking to find my place in the tech industry and say I'm a junior web developer helping to break down the complex codes behind the systems we use every day. I don't know, something like that. Because I think that I realize that this is trying to help your professional career. But thinking about a broader audience, if that's something you're interested in, at many different levels of ability and understanding and function, people are intimidated still by technology. I've been on YouTube for 12 years, and there's parts of it that still intimidate me. And so I think for a broader audience, something like that would have a lot of appeal. Just a thought. And of course, you guys can always come back and rewatch these live streams another time if you want to jot down something I said or be like, no, he was crazy, or hey, that worked. So that's always a thought. Anyways, I was jumping ahead there just because I had that, I don't know. It felt like inspiration to me. I don't know its general merit. So that's pretty good. Also looking at your video, it's interesting. The space behind you, there seems to be like a legal pad with a clip on it. A light switch, some other things. It's interesting to think about the space where you record. So like here in my little box that I'm currently, I'm in a box that I'm in, like here, Vogue. I tried to be aware of that. So like before I go live, I turn the camera on or open OBS, whatever I'm using, and see what it's capturing. What's the range of the view? It's sort of a filming thing where a lot of times you'll be watching something and they'll use forced perspective, a fisheye lens or something, but the set that they're on could be very narrow. Maybe they're using green screen or maybe they're not. But just understanding, like you've seen like the whole, the kind of the jerk nozzle director going around like, yeah, look at me, I'm awesome. But there is some reason for, a 4:3 or like a 16:9 sort of frame up. So you understand, like, if I can just make this like 15%, 25%, whatever the angle is, part look just like the alien spaceship or the whatever I need it to be, then that's all I need. And so what I do in my space is like, I have my degree here, but wanting to protect my personal privacy, I took a magnet I made for my channel and I just pop it over top of my degree. And so instead of something that could be, maybe revealing personal information at this resolution, probably couldn't read it anyways. But instead it's a branding and advertising opportunity. So I can say, oh, my channel. And so I try to keep the space behind me relatively clean. I took like stuff off the couch and the chair behind me, try to make it, and I try to put my head where my Blu-rays are because that's a little distracting, a little messy, that kind of thing. So that would just be something to be aware of, is the space that you're recording in, and see where you could make it more or less interesting. You don't want to distract or take focus from you too much, but creating an ambiance can be a good thing. Maybe you could get a small colored light and throw it up against that wall. So like, even if it's like just a flashlight on an angle or one of those cheap IKEA lamps or whatever, and then you just angle it at the everything's reversed. Angle it kind of at the wall from like off camera, but just to throw a splash of color back there. Purple, pink, blue. You've got a bit of a red theme going on with your banner there. That could liven the image up and provide some color contrast. You might not be washed out so much. It'd be a little bit interesting if you had some branding that you wanted to put up there, or alternatively have the walls as clear as possible, but with a little color, so it's visually interesting but not distracting. People wondering, what's that on the wall? Is that his calendar? What's he doing on Thursday? So just some thoughts about that. how to start learning programming is serving as your channel trailer. That's great because you're all about the coding and you're talking from like an introductory sort of standpoint. It makes really good sense to have that as your channel trailer. It's 14 minutes, but again, it's not an actual trailer. It's just serving in as one. You actually have a colored lamp. You have what you need. I would be very curious to see what that looks like. Do another YouTube video. I'll watch it. Learning to program doesn't have to be a tiring or confusing task. It's all about thinking in detail and what you want to code or programs you want to make. You can start programming today. With all of the programming languages out there today, deciding and then read more beyond the fold. So I think that's really good. I think that's the thing. Is like I think you really do have the personality and the ability to explain things in like non-intimidating ways that could really help your audience. And so you're talking about that here. I think you could really do something with that. That would make me more inclined to watch again, just personally, and you know, potentially subscribe and other things. So that's good. You've got popular uploads. Love it. That YouTube video, it only has 130 views. I was expecting a K on the end of that. Man, that's interesting. That's weird. I mean, just because I watched it, I guess I assumed everybody else would too. So yeah, sharing it in appropriate places where that particular video or two where creators gather could be useful. And the OBS thing as well. There might be subreddits or something that could find stuff like that useful. I talked about Reddit earlier, so there's different caveats there. You know what? Screw it. I'm going in. I'm going to look at this video because I want my tube buddy to take a look at this video and see what's going on here. No comments? What? I didn't comment? You know what? Oh, wait, no, hold on. It just didn't load. There's, for some reason, the comments aren't showing up here. But no, you got 12 comments. Good. Hopefully one of them's me. Well, I'm going to comment right now, even if it's from the wrong account. Very interesting. There you go. There's a comment. I see you've pinned a comment. That's good. Okay, so let's look at what TubeBuddy's saying about all this here. Okay, it's been on Reddit. It's got 2 upvotes. You know what? I'm going to go look. I don't want people to think I'm going to do this a lot, but this is small YouTube channel, YouTubers community. That's cool. I'm going to upvote those because those are good. So there you go. I know I don't normally do this for channels when I'm, but it's because I watched the video before. So there you go. Now I've doubled your upvotes for this video. No mentions on Twitter. So yeah, tying in a Twitter into YouTube. It's a set it and forget it thing. I highly recommend you do it. Control your brand. You never know. I know you're looking for, you know, a career opportunity out of this in terms of probably a day job. This is sort of operating as a visual resume to a degree, I think, in some sense, and that's fine. And so, but I still think there's nothing wrong with putting that on Twitter, even if it's just a simple Twitter integration. You never know where those connections are going to be made. So I would say get on Twitter and tie it in and share this on Twitter. So yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that your channel isn't getting a lot more views than it's getting. But I think that means there's a lot of opportunity. Looking at the best practices here, yeah, it hasn't been shared on Twitter, and there's no info card added. At the bare minimum, what I would do, I see you've got an end card. Go in before the, you know what, here's what you might want to do. Look at your retention on this video. If you go into Creator Studio, you can look at the retention for individual videos, and you can see where the viewership drops off. Try to find a point where it crosses the 50% threshold. Notice the timestamp for that. 2 minutes, 30, 5 minutes, whenever that is. Then go in and create an info card 5 seconds before that links them, on this video at least, to part 2. Because maybe they just want to jump to part 2. I don't know, it's worth a shot. And then you also make TubeBuddy happy because you get all the check marks in, you make YouTube, the algorithm, you're using all the tools and all that stuff I keep talking about. Let's load the results. Nothing's ranking here in incognito. That having been said, it's a super competitive space. Like YouTube algorithm. If I were to click on this and use my TubeBuddy here, it does say very bad, but that's because it's got a high search volume, which is great, very high competition. So, and remember guys, what I'm using right now is the free TubeBuddy plugin. So if you got the free one and then upgraded, then it actually unlocks way more features that I actually have on my Vacation Impossible one. I went full on legend there. For Vacation Impossible, I went crazy. I got the whole kit and caboodle. Most people would be okay with like Pro or something, but anyways, just a little plug there. I'm just gonna plug the TubeBuddy link in the chat one more time. I don't know, maybe somebody will get something out of that. It is an affiliate link, so I get a little something if you do happen to sign up for the paid version. But hey, I'm just happy if it helps you. So anyways, and so it's a very competitive space, and that's understandable. One of your, yeah, I don't know. I'm not, if you get TubeBuddy, if you don't already have it, play around with some of the research. Maybe some of this would, I'm just checking something here. See, here's one thing, and this can apply to almost everybody. Your title can be its own keyword. How the YouTube algorithm works. I'm not actually seeing this as one of the keywords. There's synonyms and similar things. And it's ironic because you talk about alignment. If you have the exact phrase, because you say, how does the YouTube algorithm work? We'll go over how the algorithm works. Your description's good. It aligns with the title. But maybe add a keyword, and I think you probably have enough characters you could fit this in, that's literally copying up to the parentheses. How the YouTube algorithm works. If that's also a tag, because it perfectly lines up with your title and is pretty much in the description as well, that might rank. It's worth a shot. What do we have here? The link isn't popping up in chat. Man, that's too bad. I need to learn more about how this stuff works. I wonder if there's a way. Yeah, no, you're right. I don't think I'm seeing the link. You know what? I was posting it as Vacation Impossible, and it was a link. It probably thought that was spam. I should do it right here. I forgot I had this chat up. I appreciate your patience as I'm learning with you guys. There we go. Does that show up? Yeah, no, it shows up there. That's what it was. I did it as a viewer, not as the host. Yeah, I think the links are probably standard disabled, and honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. So anyways, there's the link. Go get TubeBuddy for free if you don't already have it. At the very least. Because, yeah, like I said, everything you see me using here is the free version. There's much more to it than that, but that's great. So anyways, man, you know what? I'm doing this live stream again on the 23rd and the 30th. Those are both Fridays. I'm also doing it on Boxing Day, December 26th. Come back and let me know. I want to see this video have more views. It deserves more views. I want to see it be a big success. I'm going to click thumbs up on it there. Yeah, no, don't sell yourself short, man. Not that I think you're necessarily doing that. I'm just saying you got something here, and you got something I don't have. If I had something like that, I'd do something with it. And so I think you got a lot of potential here. You've got some consistency in your thumbnail appearance. You're throwing some icons on there so people know what it is right away. That's pretty good. It's just a super competitive space, but I think you can carve out a slice for yourself. I think I already looked at the About page. So that's good. I think did I look at the Channelytics yet? I don't remember. I was bouncing all over. Tech, coding, programming, software, vlog, video log. Suggestion, vlog and video log don't feel accurate, in fairness. Yes, it's you talking, but it's not like a vlog like you're talking about your day. And no offense to you, it doesn't feel like it's about you. The channel's not about you, it's about the technology and you being a great vehicle to explain it. But it's not super personality driven in the sense, like I don't know that like my personal channel's personality driven. I don't feel this is personality driven. This is about providing specific value. My travel channel is about showing you how to travel cheap, more often, and in an interesting and different way. It's not about the fact that, oh, I'm awesome. And this isn't about me. This is about me helping you. And I think yours is similar. You're helping people. So it's not really a vlog in that sense. So I would drop vlog and video log, and then maybe add, oh, you know what you need to add? Algorithm. Yup. You need to add the word algorithm, maybe YouTube algorithm, because then that will also line up with that video that's your most popular video and then I think can take off. So that's my suggestion there. One thing I talk about the Facebook group and feedback in general is that you can give two kinds of criticism. And I've talked about this before, so I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but some people are new. And I think some of this bears repeating. You can criticize someone in a way that only damages them. You can say, you know what, your colors suck. And I'm not saying this about anyone. This is an example about a generic person. These are actually things that have been said to me. Your logo sucks. Clearly, you have no Photoshop skills. You don't know what you're doing. Your audio sucks. Your visual presentation sucks. Your equipment sucks. All that kind of stuff. That's destructive because it might, at best, give people a clue to an area they might want to look at. But it tells them nothing to do with it. It doesn't give them anything specific and tangible that they can't go and do. So, and I talked about this in the last live stream, but I had posted something about my channel in the group, as I do every now and then. Good point, Barry, about hearing things multiple times. So hopefully this is entertaining in some way if you're hearing me say this for the third or fourth time. But I posted something, and then someone just latched on and started berating me for my channel icon. And constructive criticism is great. I'm totally open to it. Please do. That's fantastic. But it has to be constructive. What's the difference between destructive and constructive? Constructive gives you something concrete to do. So if they came in and they said your channel colors suck, that's destructive. Your channel colors would be better if they were blue, is constructive. It gives you something specific to go for. So what I used to do, I haven't been able to do this in a while, but I tried to take 20 minutes out of every day and just go watch random videos that were posted in the Facebook group. And lately I haven't been able to because I've been the admin work has been off the charts lately. For example, every time, people are constantly criticizing how we're running the group. And so I have to go deal with that person instead of running the group or watching videos. It's very frustrating. And so I'm trying to get a handle on that. But, and the group's been growing quite a bit lately too. And that's not a bad thing, but it means I need to take time to. Sometimes people need explanations for things. Anyways, so I used to take 20 minutes every day and watch videos. And so sometimes I would say, your audio's all over the place. And people would sometimes respond, rightly or wrongly, critically, because they said that wasn't constructive. You're just crapping on his audio. Now, my intent, and I thought it was heavily implied, but it clearly wasn't explicitly stated, is that their audio levels were inconsistent. And so if they went and they leveled out their audio so that it didn't deviate more than plus or minus, say, 6 decibels, then that would be better. Now, that's kind of obvious to me, but it doesn't mean it's obvious to somebody else. And so I've tried to now, after getting that feedback, which was constructive, I tried to say, hey, your music was really loud, but your voice was really quiet. And so that gives something specific and constructive they can build on. But that's kind of the difference. Your audio sucks to, that's really bad. In the middle is your audio's all over the place. It's a little more specific to, hey, maybe the music doesn't need to be quite so loud and it would sound better. That's fully constructive. And so there's a continuum there. And so I think that especially as we're creators that might be supporting, helping, criticizing each other, we need to, kind of keep that in mind. And it's so easy to get frustrated and just bitter. And I get it. I was struggling, YouTube took away my monetization. I didn't do anything wrong. They just changed their policy. And it can easily I felt some bitterness. I struggled with that, and that's natural. It's human. But we all have to try and not lash out at other people. I see somebody with 11,000 subscribers, and they're struggling with, I don't know, they're getting a lot of dislikes or something. And so there's a dark part of me that just wants to say, we got 11,000 subscribers. What's your big problem? But it's a problem for them, and I might be able to help. And why not? If I can. It might benefit me down the road. Maybe they'll give me a shout out. Maybe they'll subscribe. Maybe they'll like me. Maybe they won't. That's not why I should do it. I should do it because it's the right thing to do. That's my general philosophy. If we're truly going to say that we're creators that support other creators, then that's the how and the why of it, in my mind. Just my opinion. But I love seeing that kind of thing. When I see it in the group, when I'm able to participate and help that way, it feels great. And yeah, maybe I'm explaining something for the 28th time in the last 2 months, but to that person, it's new. And so I'm trying to keep that in mind. And I see people in the group that get frustrated and bitter. It's like another person asking this question. It's like, you can't get mad at them for that. They weren't here 2 weeks ago. We have 1,000 people joining the group every week at this point. And that means constantly people are new. And so constantly I'm introducing them to what I think is a fantastic thing too, buddy. And so I might sound like I'm shilling or it's a broken record. And yeah, I might get a tiny little something one day, but it's not much for one thing. More to the point, that's not why I'm doing it. I know I'm getting off topic here, but just talking about the group, I've been approached by about 7 or 8 different companies now that wanted to sponsor or wanted my endorsement for some product. So far, the only one I have been able to give my full-throated endorsement for is TubeBuddy. There's another one I'm currently testing out, but I've tested out others. There was this Instagram thing that I tried, and it was a bloody mess. It didn't work at all. I ended up on the phone with their developers. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. I never mentioned it to people because I wasn't going to draw attention to a flawed product. Because I'm not going to do that. I don't care if they weren't going to throw. They offered me literally $20. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. It's like that subscriber thing. I want to try and help you regardless of your or collab with you regardless of your subscriber count. If it's right at $20, it's right at $200 is my general philosophy. So I was like, hey, I'll try it. And it just didn't work. And so at some point I said, like, you know what? This has become a waste of my time. I'm sorry. Maybe come back to me when you have a finished product, but this isn't it. I can't share this with the group. And I don't care, they would have to basically give me a Tesla, to make me sort of, endorse something that I think is flawed. I only mentioned that because I was on a test drive on a Tesla earlier today, and oh man, I need to get rich fast because that is an amazing vehicle. Anyways, well off topic there. Let's look at the next channel. Going through here. Appreciate your patience and... all right, here we go. Vatty Vlog, I think, is next. Vatty Vlog. Hopefully you're still around, but if you're not, you can always catch it on a replay. Get a little ranty sometimes, but sometimes, I don't know. Obviously, I'm passionate. I believe that what I'm saying is kind of important. Let me just make sure I get the right Vatty. Well, it's got to be that one. It's got to be it. Well, I'm just going to check the icon. Don't want to go into the wrong spot here. I think Vatty's gone. I doubt that they're still here, but no, that looks right. But you never know. Did I say Cambodia? Cool. All right. What do we got? Cambodia, lifestyle and adventure Cambodia. For the most used tags, related searches, Vatty Vlogs, which is just the plural of what I searched. 13 videos, 65 subscribers. Picture of a kid in a bush or a plant in front. Presumably in Cambodia. My channel is about lifestyle and adventure of Cambodia, people at the countryside. You will see a lot of lifestyle and living. ... So it goes from there. So a couple things. You've heard me say it before. Nobody searches the word channel on YouTube. Or if they do, it's not going to get your results. So, green numbers. That's awesome, man. I'm super excited to hear that. I love when those green numbers pop up. It's like, yes. It's not the same as getting those views and subscribers up, but it's like an intermediary step. It feels good. So anyways, I've dropped the my channel is about, and just start lifestyle and adventures of, adventure of Cambodia people. It feels awkward English. Maybe that's supposed to be adventures in Cambodia or adventures of the Cambodian people or adventures of Cambodian people. I don't know, but just tighten that up a little bit, but just drop the my channel is about. It reminds me of you're going through school and you had a word question and you could also often get some words in there just by rephrasing it. So it's like, what is your channel about? My channel is about, and then you go. And in a test situation, a conversation that works, but you want to maximize your space before that truncation on your channel description. So no, my channel is about. Jump right into it. Don't waste time. So let's dive in here. Because I don't think this person's necessarily still around, I'm going to keep this relatively a light touch, I think. Little Girl Feeding Fish is serving as the channel trailer. It's 3 minutes and 13 seconds, not bad. It's interesting. My channel is about lifestyle and adventure. The channel description's repeated here at the beginning of the video description. The video description here doesn't say anything about Little Girl Feeding the Fish. I mean, it might below the fold, but it doesn't above the fold. So I highly recommend moving that, or at least putting that in there. Put it at the beginning for keyword alignment, if nothing else. Lifestyle and Adventure Cambodia. Excuse me, the text is a little hard to read. It looks like there is an outline around the text that is like a yellow, maybe a white. It's really thin, so it's hard to tell. And there's a drop shadow, which is good, but... I think that a boxier, thicker text would be easier to read. And if the stroke outline was black instead of the lighter color, that would transition to the drop shadow better, and I think it would pop better. Another thing you can do, this can apply to your thumbnails. This can apply to your banner. In Photoshop, it's an easy trick. Create a layer that exists above the picture and below the text that's just a box, and have it. You can have it a white outline. You can have no outline. Have the box be dark green, gray, black. Have the fill somewhere between 65 and 90%. And that'll give something dark for the text to pop against. Super easy, super quick thing that you can do. I only started doing it like a few months ago. I feel a little silly for not realizing sooner. I used to do stuff like that back in the 90s in CorelDRAW, but that's my history and boring to you. But that's a simple thing. If you're having trouble making text pop, because maybe it's going across multiple different background shots like this one is doing, where it's going against different contrasts. Like the Cambodia part actually looks kind of okay. It's the other part, because of the light part of the wheelbarrow thingy there, is causing some of the challenges. That's one way that you can kind of do that. And also it adds a little layer of complexity to the image, makes it a little more visually interesting potentially. Looking at this particular banner, these are really good shots. In fact, these are so good and professional that I have to ask if the creator took them. Or are they stock images? I mean, hopefully if they are stock images somewhere that they have the rights to use them. But if they took them themselves, that's fantastic. And if you did take them yourself, why do I not see an Instagram link here? Was that Google Plus? Is that what that is? Aboutme.google.com. Huh. What's the U? Blogspot? Why does Blogspot show up as a U? That's interesting. Maybe it's a customized ICO file. And they've got a link to their channel. And yeah, it's the same channel. So yeah, I would get on Instagram if those are your pictures and post stuff like that. You could blow up on Instagram. Forget YouTube. You could do really well there. Or it could be a synergistic thing. I'm joking about forgetting YouTube, but seriously, they could support each other and burst each other that way. Barry, you're working in Photoshop as I'm talking. That's cool. And it's funny. I discovered Roberto Blake earlier this year, and I was designing some thumbnails, and I would put his little Photoshop tutorial video on as I was doing stuff for like the first dozen that I did, and some I would follow step by step, and some I'd divert from what he was suggesting. But that's really cool to think that I'm having that kind of helpful influence on somebody else. That's awesome. It makes me feel like I'm doing good things with my time. So anyways, if this person was still around or they watched this on the replay, drop the link to your channel, because it's on your channel. It doesn't help. And get on Instagram is my advice. And again, Twitter. It's free. It's easy. Set it and forget it. Yeah, I mean, Adobe Stock and stuff. Yeah, I mean, you can do stuff, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm a travel channel, and so I have an advantage there that I go amazing places and I'm able to take some pictures with virtually no skill on my part. I'll own that. But because it's so amazing and you're outdoors and the lighting is fantastic, you take out your phone and you pop the picture and you're like, wow, that looks like it could be on a brochure somewhere. So I do have that advantage that is relatively low skill on my part, that I believe people should try to use their own pictures as much as possible. Which is funny, because I've got a lot of content ID matches on my older videos, because I didn't use my own music until I found a composer willing to work for free. Friend of mine. Really nice guy. Cam. His music's fantastic on our channel. Vacation Impossible. So anyways, looking at this image here, the transitions are a little stark. And they're inconsistent. The ones on the side, there's a gray line, but the transition in the middle is just a clear cut with nothing in between. I'm wondering if that corresponds to like the different resolutions you can see the banner at. Like maybe those gray lines would be the boundary on mobile. I don't know. So maybe that's why that's the way it is. I don't have OCD. I took an online test, but I think I have tendencies. People throw labels around a lot. The line in the middle is not in the middle. And so it's like the wheelbarrow thingy is larger than the other ones. That's design aesthetic stuff. I don't know. But these are pretty good pictures. The profile picture. Barry, you get a lot of viewership from Instagram. Tell me your secrets. I can't get a single view from Instagram. You're a pro photographer. Okay, that's your secret. Okay, that's fair. You earned that one. I can't compete at that level. It's actually really funny. My Instagram has gone haywire on my phone right now. I did a brief video on the Small YouTubers Boost Instagram account trying to advise people this chat was coming up. And then Instagram has just been nonstop crashing ever since. And I've tried a lot of troubleshooting stuff. And so I've actually handed the keys to the Vacation Impossible Instagram account over to another member of our group, Mindy. And she's in charge of it now on her phone because I'm out of the game. I'm hoping that works out. I'm hoping that her leadership of the Instagram channel makes it take off, and then I don't have to manage it anymore. I don't mind it. It hasn't driven traffic, and so anyway, sidebar. So yeah, the profile picture here of the girl is, I don't know. It's not appealing to me, and I don't want to do destructive criticism here. It's just. And this is largely just speaking from my personal taste, I think. Yeah, using screen captions from your videos as thumbnails, great place to start. Here's a Photoshop tip. Go into the vibrance setting from your capture and try tweaking the, saturation and I think it's vibrance. Put them both up 25. Go one at a time, play with the little preview button and see how that image looks. But one thing I've noticed, I think, is when images scale down, it feels like the colors look less rich. And so if you counterbalance that by increasing the vibrance or saturation or both in the creation of the thumbnail, I think it pops a lot better. For example, this channel I'm looking at right now, like you look at the stuff at the top and the green on that kid in the field of water, whatever that is, that's an amazing picture. And that green is just so pop, like you can almost smell the grass. But then you scroll down and he's got under uploads this kid playground thumbnail here. It's got a couple black bar letterboxing up and down, which I don't know, maybe he's going for a, I'm assuming it's a he, I don't know, going for a cinematic look there, but for one thing, the black bars versus all the other thumbnails, it shows up sometimes, not others. I don't know about that. But also look at the green of that tree. It's kind of muted, right? But if you were to take that background image, increase the saturation and the vibrance by 25 each in Photoshop, that green would pop a lot more, and you'd have better contrast against the yellow there. So try playing around with that particular thing. It doesn't always work. If it starts to make the people look orange or weird, or there's pixelation or something, then don't do it. Sometimes you can go up to 50. Sometimes don't do it at all because it just doesn't work. Play with it a little bit. It's like 90 seconds out of your life. The colors on your thumbnails could pop a lot better, especially when they scale down smaller. The picture is the channel owner. The little girl? Must be an old picture or a really talented young girl for that age. I don't know. Maybe it's the dude over here down from the mountaintop. Looks like he's holding the camera. That'd be my guess. This guy's clearly not in chat. He would have said something by now. Or she. But anyways, this stuff could be relevant to a lot of people, so I'm just going to keep going. But yeah, that picture, go in tighter, make it look a little bit more professional. The thing is, and this is me, I'm not a big fan of vlogs, and I'm not a big fan of people who, it's just my personal taste, I'm not judging anybody, it's just what I like or don't like. People who film everything they do. They go to Walmart, they go to the dollar store, they clean their house. Some people enjoy watching those videos. All the more power to them. I have no criticism on the genre. I just think it's not for me. I don't find it personally interesting. And so when I see that it's a picture of a kid, I feel like it's maybe a proud parent. Maybe it's that family kind of stuff. But to me, it doesn't feel super professional, that particular image here. Partly because, again, it's not very vibrant. That green is muted. If the vibrance was higher, maybe it'd be better. And to me, it doesn't entice me. But like some of these other shots up in this banner, it's fascinating. So I think they could do something better. Go in tighter on the kid, increase the vibrance maybe, or just pick a different picture. I don't know. I think, they got the uploads and the popular uploads. I suggest a playlist and channelytics for this channel. Lifestyle. I don't mean to crap on anybody, but oh man, lifestyle. I don't understand lifestyle. It feels like miscellaneous when I see it. I see it in the group, and I try to consider it one of the two words we need for a description. But lifestyle on its own will very rarely get approved by me because what does that mean? It can mean, men's fashion. It can mean makeup. It can mean the people going to Walmart or dollar store or mukbangs, or like, it seems to include pretty much anything you can do in your life that might have a modicum of style. To me, the word is nearly meaningless. It's like vlog. It doesn't narrow down my comprehension. This could just be a me thing, because the other moderators in the group, they're like, no, we got a good understanding of what lifestyle is. And I'm like, well, thank God you do. But I don't. And that's the only tag here. Like, Cambodia, come on, put a tag that says Cambodia at least. And again, I'm not trying to crap on anybody, because like, maybe they just put something in there when they created the channel. Maybe it was some time ago. Now I kind of want to know when the channel was created. Let's take a look at the about page. June. Okay, it's a very young channel. For a channel of this age, it's doing some things very right. Like, that banner art is pretty good. So I don't want to be too harsh here. But yeah, and I started doing these live streams because people were forgetting about their channel keywords and descriptions. So I'm going to keep harping on it. I'm just going to keep doing it, because you know what? It's quick wins. People haven't heard it before. It's, you put a few minutes into it and you'll never know the benefit, because it's an algorithm. And it's all a big fat secret, but it certainly can't hurt. It looks more professional. So yeah, I mean, come on. Put in at least Cambodia as a keyword. Stay in touch with me by clicking subscribe and bell icon. Website, again, links in the description aren't hyperlinks, so I don't really recommend it. You can, if you want, put usernames, but because you can put links down below, I just don't see the point. Make it clickable is my advice. And if this was a person who was open to sponsorship, they should probably have their email there, but not part of the description. Make it where you have to click so that the bots don't get it. Anyways, I think I spent a lot of time on a channel for somebody who I don't think is around. Let's go back and see who's next. How's everybody doing? I'm getting a little tired, but I'm going to stay strong. Dynamic No-No. You were saying some cool stuff earlier that I was agreeing with. I think you subscribed, so that's nice too. Dynamic. Oh, it's all one word. No. Okay. I'm spelling that wrong, right? Yeah. That should be an A. Is that the icon? I smell Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite montage. Okay. Fortnite has a very distinct art style and color scheme, and there have been so many Fortnite videos shared in the Facebook group that I've actually become pretty good at spotting them. I think I got a good sense for what their aesthetic is. Plugging away over here. Okay, that's cool. Stay strong. We're gonna keep going, I think, for at least a little longer. Okay, so Dynamic No-No. It's interesting. The search keeps wanting to put a space in there. PlayStation 4, Sony Interactive Entertainment, PS4 Share. As I understand it, that the PS4 can upload directly into YouTube. I get the feeling that they're doing that because I bet the PS4 itself puts that hashtag in there. Because also it's a hashtag. The other searches don't have the hash. So that's kind of interesting. 166 subscribers. I mean, the picture there is pretty cool. I would consider going a little tighter on the person. But, Hi, I'm Dynamic No-No. This is my bio. I'm an aspiring little YouTuber who tries to make amazing content to bring my fellow people. If I didn't recognize the Fortnite style... thanks, Barry. If nothing else, I'm hoping to be entertaining. If I didn't recognize the Fortnite style, I'd have no earthly idea what this channel was about after reading every part of the description that's visible on the results page. And so that's easily fixable. And like, hi, I'm so-and-so, this is my bio. Like, you've said nothing, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but like, Dynamic No-No's the name. We see that already. We know this is your bio. Aspiring little YouTuber, not super searchable. Little is implied by the subscriber count, sorry to say, who tries to make amazing content. Again, when I hear people talking about content and it's not a creator to a creator kind of conversation, it feels so jargony. It feels so business speak. It's funny. People talk about like things being relatable or sincere, and yeah, I just... it's funny. If I can, there was something I talked about on my podcast back, I think in December, which is kind of interesting. It's a little off topic, but not totally. Is this idea in the U.S. It's going to sound political. Don't worry, I'm going to pull back. But this idea of fake news, And I was reading this article that was talking about how millennials, in particular, kind of buy into the premise of fake news. And I found that kind of surprising. But as I read the article, it basically said that it's not that they think the news is reporting lies. It's that the personality and the style of the news presentation was impersonal and fake. Fake in the sense of plastic, not fake in the sense of a lie. So it was like, it's a newsreader in a suit at a desk reading off of a teleprompter or a cue card. And, with that newspeak voice, all trying to sound like Dan Rather or somebody else, Walter Cronkite. And so, and that they don't appreciate it in the sense that it doesn't feel like something that they can relate to. And so that's, I think that's interesting. And so I think that authenticity can be pretty important. And so these millennials, which I'm told I'm one, where do they go for what they consider authentic news? They would go to The Daily Show, particularly when it's Jon Stewart, but I still think now Trevor Noah. They go to places like YouTube. They go to Philly D and other people to get their news because they are sincere people expressing things with maybe a little bit of emotion or their personal perspective or whatever, or maybe they're totally neutral, but it's the delivery, it's the packaging is authentic. And that's actually a huge difference and really important for a lot of people. So I feel that when we start talking about content, that feels like I'm getting back to that plastic person, where it's like, now it sounds like I'm in the boardroom and I'm talking about like, we need a content delivery schedule so that, and like it's sometimes when you pull back the curtain and it feels corporate, I don't think that that's well received, particularly in places of social media like YouTube or Instagram or something like that. It's like when you know that there is a team, a makeup artist, and a lighting rig guy that's helping the Instagram model take this perfect picture while on vacation and realize it's not just her holding up her phone or getting her boyfriend to take a shot. I think it takes something away from some people. Yeah, it's a bit of a rant. That's true. But, I'm just describing what I see basically and seeing how can we use this? How can we use this information and knowledge? And so that's why, and it drives me nuts when I'm approving things in the Facebook group. Don't get me wrong, I love being in the admin. But when people were like, I post amazing content, and it's like, you've said nothing in that sentence. Nothing. There are no words there that contain meaning. Because amazing is your personal opinion. Don't know what makes it amazing. Don't know what your content is about. So anyways, so for here, what I would probably say is, you know what? Clearly you do Fortnite. Say Fortnite somewhere. And don't say this is my bio. I mean, it's like, it's weird. I remember like years ago as the internet was just growing and there was like dating sites and stuff like that and people have to write a profile and they might be kind of funny or people will be funny in their Twitter profile. And it's largely more advisable to be like random in your Twitter profile once you're famous. So like Will Wheaton had a description that says like, oh, fake gamer girl was his description on Twitter for like a couple of years. And that was funny because he clearly wasn't. It was something that people accused him and other people of being. He was trying to make light of an accusation that was hurting a lot of people. And he was already famous, so he didn't need to explain who he was, in that venue. And so other people or things like that. So like I remember I had a friend of mine who was writing a dating profile on Plenty of Fish or some other website years and years ago, and he said something like, for our first date I will like I will what was it, I'll catch you a bear and make a coat and dinner or something like that. He's not serious, he's being funny. And for a dating profile, be funny, be unusual. It could, a lot of things that I've seen, it's a little funny. It's like, there's no way to encapsulate myself in the characters provided. Send me a message. It can be funny, it can be serious, whatever. As YouTubers, we got to think about SEO and everything. Well, not everything we do, but in a lot of the things we do. And the text things we do on YouTube, you got to. And so saying that this is their bio, I don't want to harp on it. I don't want to pick on anybody, but come on. Just say Fortnite at least. No channel trailer, so you've heard me say it before. Since it's clearly a gaming channel, think about the most epic moments you've had. Something funny, a glitch, an epic win, something that shouldn't have happened. Throw some of that. I miss Jon Stewart too. And his appearances with Colbert always cast him as like this, I don't know. It breaks the fourth wall a little too much for me. It's more about like, oh, he's living in the cabin in the woods. Half the joke is the fact that he hasn't been on TV in so long. And it's like, no, come on, man. Just give us the commentary we need to hear. Give us a perspective. Give us some analysis and some jokes. That's what we want. I miss Jon Stewart in a suit. That's what I really miss. Actually, getting back to Bernard. I don't know. Dressing slightly more formally if you really want this to be a path to getting a job. Like I think in a t-shirt, if I remember correctly, just going up to a golf shirt, something with a little collar, I don't know, might look a little bit more corporate friendly, a little professional. I don't know if you want to go full suit and tie, but maybe just a golf shirt would be a good medium where you don't get into the fake news plastic issue, but you do look a little bit more ready for the boardroom if that's the place that they send that you end up as a coder. Just a thought, a little flashback there. So yeah, no channel trailer, but 60 seconds, your best stuff. Put it up there. A sizzle reel is what they often would call it back in the day. Some of the stuff here, kamikaze montage. You could say the game in the title somewhere, might not hurt. TubeBuddy, when you're editing a video, is it gives you some recommendations about the character length of your title, and some are too short and some are too long. I think it says anything over like 70 odd characters it suggests is too long, but I think less than 20 is too little. And so if this person was using TubeBuddy, I bet they would get the too short, like noticed montage. I don't even know what that means. I know what a montage is, and I'm seeing the like the logos for the games. Battle Royale, Fortnite. Well, Fortnite's the game, Battle Royale's the mode. They made Battle Royale really big, Fortnite really small. I don't know. Mention the game and the title, maybe. I mean, this could just be spillover from frustration when I'm trying to approve things. Bernard, have a good night. Thanks for joining us. It was great taking a look at your channel, and glad I was able to provide some value. So I'm approving things, and people are like, check out my montage. And I'm like, I can't approve this. No one knows what the hell you're talking about. If you mention the name of your game in the post in the Facebook group, I'm going to approve it almost every time. As long as you're not doing some sub for sub nonsense, I'm going to approve it if you say the name of the game. There's this phrase that people use all the time, and I want to know where it's coming from, because they use the exact same words. Diverse people over months and months. They talk about, I make legit gaming content, and you won't regret subscribing or something. I don't know. It's a particular phrase. I don't know why I can't remember exactly what it is right now, but it's verbatim word for word, and tons of people use it's copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Never mentions the game or anything. And it's like, why are they all using the exact same phrasing? Is this a bot? Is this some more famous YouTuber who said, use this phrase? I don't know what it is, but I want to ask, but I don't know if I've got kind of free time. But anyways, like, yeah, if you are a gamer and you're in Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group, just include the name of the game that you're linking to. Please. You'll get your post approved. And you'll probably get post pre-approval where we'll never have to review your stuff again, as long as you keep doing just that. If you're a gamer, that's the ticket. That's the free ticket in. Mention the name of the game, you get approved. It's a promise. Yeah, I'm thinking, a larger YouTuber must have done it. I just want to know who I hate. Who do I resent for having spun people off, I think, on the wrong path? I don't know. I mean, legit entertaining content. That's one of the phrases. Even the non-gamers use that one. I make legit entertaining content. Legit. Is the assumption that it's fake? Because it's good that you told me that it's not, I guess, then. Entertaining. Well, damn. Like, isn't everything on YouTube supposed to be entertaining? Maybe informative? Maybe some people make videos to help you go to sleep. I don't know. I don't get that. Content. Well, yeah. I don't think, you're not building the medium. It's the content. So clearly, like, anyways, frustration, rant. Just, yeah. And so anyways, so, and again, here we have uploads and we have popular uploads. Those are good. Let's add at least one more for a specific game, because I mean, maybe it's all Fortnite. So I don't know, maybe just montages, because there's a kamikaze, there's a noticed, there's a I hit those, whatever that is. I don't know. Channelytics, what do we got? If this person doesn't have Fortnite in the tags, I'm... What are you doing to me, guys? Come on! Reach for the sky. Each word is its own tag. Man. It's, I understand how it happened. I really do. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm harping on anybody. I want to try and be helpful here. But when you're typing in, and I showed you guys earlier, the channel keyword area, it is not clear at all what forms a keyword. And you type it in, you save, and you move on to the next screen. And you don't know that it has created every word you typed as its own keyword, rather than putting them as like... And people might look at that and think of it as like a catchphrase or something, because there's a lot of websites out there where you can have sort of like a phrase. A lot of message boards are like that. I think LinkedIn has that, and a couple other sites where it's like, what's your life motto? What's your whatever? And so I'm suspecting that this person probably thought that that's what that was. And that is absolutely fair. YouTube does not do a good job of explaining what that is or how it works. It's a feature that's been around since forever. I don't know how important it is necessarily anymore. People don't talk about it. That's part of why I'm trying to talk about it. So reach for this guy is fine, but it doesn't... Who's searching that? And is that a phrase with Fortnite? Can't see the tags. Can you move it over? Yeah, sure. I think. Oh, look at that. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see him. You want to know why I put this video box right here? It's because here, right behind me, is where what I'm subscribed to shows. And I don't want it to become a thing about, oh, who's he subscribed to? That's why I put the box here. Otherwise, I couldn't figure out where to put it, and everywhere else seemed as good as anywhere else. But anyways. Yeah, so let's see here. So yeah, channel tags. I mean, come on, man. Just like at least say Fortnite. Maybe your name. Montage. Come on. You gotta do it. Gotta do it. Don't get me wrong. I want you to be a success. I hope that these suggestions work. I hope I'm not coming off as like a jerk on this one. I'm a little ranty right now. I don't know. Low blood sugar. I'm tired. Something. Related channels. Hey, congratulations. You got related channels. I don't have that right now. Because you're on a niche, you're on point, you're on brand, you've got some alignment, and YouTube, the algorithm knows what you're about. That is a huge win for you. But again, I would really suggest recommended channels. You can name that box whatever you want. I think I call them awesome channels on mine. So yeah. And Achilles, yeah, exactly, about the Fortnite thing. And you know that stuff much better than I do. I'm sure you could rattle off 27 different keywords in a second that would probably really help this person better than anything I could think of. I would recommend that, yeah, if there's other Fortnite people, maybe the official, I forget, Epics? Who makes Fortnite? I don't know. Maybe the official channel of Fortnite where people can find, like, you know, when they release official trailers and things like that. Even if it's just that, just recommend at least one channel. It shows that, you know, you're using that YouTube feature, and YouTube likes it when you use their features. This is interesting. I'm looking at your banner, and there's some stuff here. Barry likes this channel. He says, a few missed opportunities. Otherwise, I see solid stuff on the channel. Hey, that could be... Your videos might be awesome. And just because I'm not into Fortnite, you know, I might not fully grasp it. And so I'm just going to talk about general things. I like to believe I can give feedback on a makeup channel or a natural hair growing channel, which I have no use for. So I'm going to try and make this valuable. Yeah. Fortnite Battle Royale montage. Keywords. Your banner is pixelated and fuzzy, and that's weird because your profile picture, it looks really sharp, and I don't get why that is. And it's interesting. So you've got the @no Picari. Not sure if I'm saying that right. I'm probably butchering it. And so it's an older icon for Instagram. So I assume that's your Instagram handle, and you got an Instagram link that is not showing the icon in the social link. So we'll dive into that in a second. But something about the banner, the resolution to me doesn't look quite right. I don't know if it's been saved at too low resolution and pixel rate or something. I'm not bit rate. I don't know what it is, but it would be great if it was sharper. Honestly, I think it could have the potential to really pop, but it doesn't for some graphic design reason that I can't explain. Let's get into looking at that Instagram link. What's going on here? You know what? I'm just going to click it. Let's see what comes up. That's interesting. Thinking this is a younger person, and that's fine. Hopefully some of my feedback is useful. Why is that not... What I would suggest you do is play around with that Instagram link. It's working, but it's not pulling the Instagram logo on your social links. So, and I can't see the way it's entered here. I think it's entered as just beginning with triple W. So what I would consider doing is try actually going in and putting the http:// before that in the link and see if maybe that's what it needs to pull. I know that the Twitter issue is with the secure HTTP. So if you have your Twitter linked, but the Twitter icon's not showing, either add or remove the S from HTTP, and that normally resolves that icon issue. I'm suspecting something similar is going on here. So the triple W is starting with that is probably okay. Maybe try it without it. Try some variables until you get that icon up there, and then it'll look a lot better. It'll catch the eye. People will know it's clickable. Let's see. My dream goal is 100,000 subs. Try making good content for you guys, but school, it's getting harder every day. Yeah, so it's a younger person, so in school, that's fine. Hey, 165 subscribers, and you got those other demands of your time. It's not bad. So, yeah, it's getting harder every day, and I'm not getting enough clips and time to edit, so bear with me. I'll try. Favorite song, favorite sport. I have pets. Guinea pigs, one of them passed. There. Okay, so this is being created or treated as if it is really a bio. Triangle. Oh, like the the PlayStation button, I guess. So yeah, I think that this is being used not the way that it is generally intended or used by people. So one thing I want to talk about, I rant about this sometimes, so brace yourselves if you heard it before, but let's talk about the why of what you're doing. Ask yourself, why am I putting my time in? Why am I doing this? I mean, it's a little crazy, right? Doing YouTube. And so you got to be driven by something. There has to be some passion. Are you doing it for money? Are you doing it to help people? Are you doing it for whatever? Is this what Twitch bios normally look like? Despite appearing on the Mario Marathon, know virtually nothing about Twitch. Achilles Melee knows a lot more about Twitch than I. If I got a Twitch question, he's the guy I ask. So, yeah, what I would... if you could mention the why you're doing it. Do you want to make people laugh and bring joy into the world? Do you want to put a dent in the universe, like Steve Jobs used to say? And I've gone on this rant before, and there's other people who've talked about this, but when Apple really started getting onto the scene again, when it was making the iPod and the iPhones for the first time and things like that, when you watched those commercials, they grabbed you not because of the features of the device. They never mentioned the features of the device. It was a cool style. It was about being different. It was about changing things. I was being on the forefront and that whole thing. So that was the why of it. They wanted to put a dent in the universe, and people were like, cool. It wasn't about what is the specific thing I can do for you. And it's good to include that, but if you can have a why are you doing this? Then people identify with the why a lot. So and everyone watching, if you haven't before, take a look at your description and say, is my why in here somewhere? It doesn't have to be at the very front, maybe further down, because the people who associate with that will probably read to that and just try to find the why. And so one thing also I think is, I know that on things like Instagram, you take the picture from above so gravity pulls your face down, and you try to get it in the perfect light. Was it Kim Kardashian said she takes like 300 pictures before she finds one she posts, and we try to put ourselves in the best light, and that can be overdone. But I do think in channel descriptions, talking about things you're struggling with is problematic for a couple of reasons. One, you're not putting your best foot forward. If someone were to just come to this channel and think, I'm going to go look and see what they're all about, and really early on they're talking about some of the problems that they're having, I might, not me necessarily, but like a person might think, I'm going to go find someone who's not struggling in this way, that I'm going to go subscribe to them, watch them. And it's kind of like giving people reasons not to do what you want them to do. And so you can talk, if you got like a vlog or something, you can talk really sincerely and honestly about what you're going through and stuff. People can identify with that. I don't know that a channel description is the place for it, because also it's a point in time and people forget about their channel descriptions. So maybe this guy graduates, maybe he starts doing this like, intensely over a whole summer while working a summer job, and the channel takes off and it's going gangbusters and he's on his way to his goal. And every now and then people are going in here and saying, like, what's he talking about? So that's just a reminder to update. But also, I think put your best foot forward. Talk about your best things you've done, best moments, something like that. Highlight something. I've talked about it before, the list of 3. And then talking about favorite song and favorite sport and having pets. I don't think it's likely that your channel is about that in any way, and so it's going to confuse the algorithm a little bit. Although you got related channels, so it's not all bad. But I would remove those things unless they in some way related to the game. And if they do, talk about how they relate to the game. And posting sub goals. Also, let's talk about sub goals for a second here. I think 2 things. One, sub goals are problematic. You don't control them. It's up to so many things. Luck, the algorithm. There's things you can do to improve your chances, but you can't take personal responsibility for getting an X number of subs over X number of time, and you'll just drive yourself mad. It's like having a New Year's resolution to win the lottery. Maybe it's not the Lotto Max. Maybe you're only going to win, tell yourself you're going to win $1,000 on the lottery, but it's still not a reasonable goal for somebody to set themselves. And subscriber goals can be kind of like that. And my concern is that it's really demoralizing. If it's not getting to where you want it to be, that's just that, that can, maybe you feel like a failure, you're beating yourself up, you try different things, you get desperate, you think about, buying some in total violation of terms of service and risk losing your channel or sub for sub or whatever. Like, that way can drive you mad. I think the goals that people would focus on better is content goals. I'm going to make 100 videos next year. Maybe that would be the goal, because that you control to a certain degree. You control your time, what you spend your time on, how hard you work, how long you spend editing, these sorts of things. These are things you can control. Another thing, and I love TubeBuddy. I'm going to go drop that link again. Why the heck not? TubeBuddy's fantastic. Get the free one, get the paid one, whatever makes you happy. It's my affiliate link. I get a little something if you do get the paid version. But one thing that TubeBuddy is I'm not a fan of is how they define their milestones. Like, I'm going to open up my TubeBuddy app right now on my phone. And thankfully my channel's at a point where I think the milestones start to make a bit more sense. But I think like at the earlier times, milestones are like every 5-10 subscribers, something like that. And for yourself, that's fine. For the creator community, that's fine. But yeah, like my milestones are kind of okay. My next one's 1,100 subscribers, 400,000 views, 400 uploads. Those kind of make sense. But I've seen 25 subscribers is a milestone. And when you get down to it, the only objective milestones are the ones that activate functions in YouTube. So 100 gets you your custom URL. 1,000 gets you things like monetization, allegedly your community tab, which just got activated on my main channel today, super chat, a couple other things. And then you get into play buttons from there, basically. And in some countries, there's also the option to integrate Teespring t-shirt sales. So those are milestones that make sense. 150 subscribers is a milestone that you share publicly with your audience. To me, doesn't feel like a milestone that your audience is likely to appreciate. Creators might, but I don't think a general audience would. So those are just some thoughts there. Let's see who's next here. Going all the way back. This was dynamic. No. Ace of Vegas I did just last time, so I think I'll skip. Hardy Tier, you were counting down until it was your turn. Well, we have arrived. If I remember, I think it was you. It was kind of doing the math on how long it would take. Hopefully you're still here. Come on. I made the sound. Do what I... Touchscreens, man. They don't love me. My body is ready. Reggie Fils-Aimé. What exactly is that from? That's from like a Nintendo keynote or something, right? Like the Mario Marathon's been using that meme for a while, and I know it's tied to Reggie Fils-Aimé, but I never actually saw the thing it came from. I saw them like in like I think it was Smash Brothers for the Wii U in 3DS. They used it a little bit in the Nintendo Directs, and some of the stuff there is very funny. But where did it really originate? Where was the first time and instance that occurred? You don't remember? It's so old. Okay, well at least it's not just me. All right, Hardy Tier. Let's see here. So the search is wanting to separate the username into 2 words. Hashtag PS4 Live, PlayStation 4, Sony Interactive Entertainment. Makes me think that there's some direct uploads from the PlayStation that is adding those keywords. I'm suspecting, because very similar to the previous channel we were looking at, the consistency is oddly so. So let's see. Description. Let's Plays, Platinum Trophy Runs, and Strategy Guides. Join me on Twitter. Know what you're getting. Okay, you start off really strong. Let's Plays, Platinum Trophy Runs, and Strategy Guides. Fantastic. Don't change that, except you're going to want an apostrophe in Let's Play. And you might want to, I don't know if you want to capitalize the P in play. I don't know. But that's fantastic. Great beginning. But then, after that, it goes straight to talking about Twitter. You haven't hooked somebody yet in the search results. So what I would suggest is after Strategy Guys, say something like, and looking at some of the other results here, I'm seeing some Final Fantasy. So it's like, I'm a proud PS4 gamer who loves Final Fantasy. Something like that. Get some more keywords in there. Let people know a little bit more about what you're about, because you can have I don't know about Platinum Trophy Runs, if that's a specific PlayStation thing or not. I'm not a hardcore gamer. I'm kind of a Nintendo fanboy. And even then, I'm like super casual. But it narrows it down a little bit. It gets those keywords in there. People know a little bit more about what you're about. So, over 2 weeks since you posted, Barry. I post super inconsistently too. Hardy tier, get hard for gaming. Achilles with the slogans. You're awesome. He's super helpful for that kind of stuff. 241 subscribers. Let's dive in. You got a channel trailer. That's nice. Welcome to Hardy's World. Okay. I'm just going to pause that. We got a date there, but it's at the end in parentheses, so that's fine. Let's Plays, Platinum Runs, live stream. Pop in a live stream. Let's have some fun. Sporadic night times. Hit the bell or follow on Twitter to get notifications. So you got some good stuff going on there. Yeah, I would consider beefing it up, and maybe you do below the fold. Just talking about like a couple examples of, on PS2 or on PS4, we love playing Destiny 2 and Final Fantasy and etc. If you don't already have it there, maybe you do. Got uploads, popular uploads, playthroughs and platinums. Strategy Corner. I like that. That's a nice kind of brand. Strategy Corner. You might almost want to make that like a semi-transparent logo that you might overlay on the thumbnails. Just as a thought. Because I think that's really, Hardy Strategy Corner. The Hard Strategy Corner? I don't know. Yeah, just a thought. Discussions and critiques. This looks pretty good. You got a variety of content here. It's not just Let's Plays, which makes it more appealing to me personally. You got a channel that you're featuring. You got popular channels, so YouTube still needs to get to know you a little bit better. The design on your banner is pretty nice. You've got brand consistency with your font and color for your profile picture. That's good. The whole description there is based on your suggestions here in this stream. Well, then I guess I'm agreeing with myself. That's awesome. Okay, so the design's pretty cool. It's a little generic. It's professional looking, but it's a little generic. You've heard me rant probably earlier about things that look like social links that aren't clickable, so I'm not sure about that. But I like the clean design of it. Something that makes it a little more clear that it's a gaming channel might be a good idea. Gaming is so saturated, though, it would be tricky to do that in a way that's like really original. So I don't know that I have a concrete suggestion there. You got a Patreon, which is interesting. What I'm just curious, what made you decide to get a Patreon? I don't have one. I've supported Pat Contri on Patreon, but I don't have one myself. My general philosophy is if my fans demand it, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm not sure. Are you, for example, offering different or early content to your patrons? And if so, that makes good sense. What kind of content? Do you do blog posts? Something that they can't get somewhere else? Is it value added, or is it more almost like a GoFundMe where it's like support me by becoming a patron, but does it unlock additional features? I'm just curious how that's working for you. Twitter and Facebook, that looks pretty good. Yeah, you got that Twitter there. Looks good. Good handle for Twitter for your name. Your thumbnails are pretty good. I would be a little concerned with this font that's sort of like a brush script type, because that kind of font is traditionally harder to read in thumbnails. And like on this Final Fantasy IX Best EXP Farming, It's almost completely illegible at the top. So if that were white or black or a boxier font with like a drop shadow or an outline, it'd be a lot easier to read. Let's see here. Oh, hey, have fun, Achilles. Thanks for hanging out. It's not really active. Okay. Yeah. That's cool. I was just curious how that's going for you. So yeah, some good stuff here. Let's check the channelytics. Strategy, Platinum, Let's Play, with Hardy, Final Fantasy gameplay, StarCraft Brutal, game design, game development, World of Warcraft Farm, Destiny Raid. Yeah, well, those seem like pretty good. I see you're using TubeBuddy. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, my suggestion is if you're playing on a PS4, you might want to add a PS4 tag. I don't know that it'd make a big difference, but it certainly couldn't hurt. Let's check the About. Okay, let's see here. I think this is going to have to be my last channel review. Running a little low on time in Steam, but I also think that I've gotten most of the people in the chat, so thank you very much for joining me. That's cool. Try out my classic style RPG. You've made your own RPG. That's really cool. You know what you could probably do? Because again, this link is not clickable. You might be able to put it down in your social links as just a website link if you want it appearing in your social links. But the challenge there is that if people click on it early on, they won't have the context that you're providing here. So I'm not even sure if that's the right thing to do, but it might be worth thinking about. But, yeah. Oh, wait, STGA24, you really wanted a channel review too. Okay, you know, I'm gonna sneak you in real quick. Because you've been around for a bit. I hadn't seen you mention anything in chat for a while, so I thought you might have left. But since you're here and stuck with me, all right. You got this nice red and yellow-orangey logo, which is slightly reminiscent of the Flash and maybe Shell gas stations. Just first impressions. And so I'm not necessarily certain what it's about. The 24 makes me think about 24 hours in a day. We have a bit of a challenge here. That looks like, I'm going to guess Spanish. And I don't speak much Spanish. I have a little bit of French. But according to the tags that are most often used, I'm seeing FIFA 19, FIFA, and Ultimate Team. So because of the language barrier, I might be limited in my ability to give you useful feedback here, but I will do what I can. And a lot of the results here, I'm seeing some thumbnails. The thumbnails look pretty good, possibly a little bit on the generic side. I'm noticing the person here that I'm seeing in a couple of them. One guy with arms up, other guy kind of like worried like this. Is that you? I'm curious. In the meantime, let's dive into the channel while I wait for your response. Okay, it's an interesting style aesthetic you've got going on here. It's a nice design. The banner is actually really sharp. And I don't think that there's anything necessarily wrong with the profile picture. The profile picture doesn't tell me much about what you're about. And looking at the banner, there's a hint of the background of stands, which looks like a football pitch. Presumably stadium of some kind. So that gives a hint about the whole FIFA thing. Yes, that's you. That's great. You're really photogenic for those thumbnails. I would definitely recommend, like, yeah, the thing where you're doing this, that looks awesome. You look a little bit like the Can You Hear Me Now guy. You don't know if you get that a lot. I hope it's not an insult. But, I mean, he's super photogenic, right? And so, but I was wondering if it was, I'm not into football. But you'll notice that I'm not calling it soccer, so I get points for that, I hope. And so I didn't know if he was maybe a famous person who was like a player or somebody who criticized it, whatever. But the fact that it's you, very photogenic, so I think that's, you got a good look. And so, you know, competitive advantage there, I say use it. And like the most recent one from 2 days ago where it's you doing that in the background, I have to look at that thumbnail for a while before I even notice that that's you there. And I'm suspecting that a lot of the background images are probably straight from the games and not designed yourself, I'm guessing. And so if that's the case, making yourself a little bit more prominent, like the picture of you with your arms up, if you could magic whatever that's called, selector tool in Photoshop yourself, put a little white outline, remove the background, and then make it bigger that maybe spans that thumbnail. I don't know. I think that'd be a good look, and it would make it look a little bit more personalized. Just a thought. You stop placing your pick. Hey, just my personal impression. You can look at things like click-through rates on Studio Beta to see what thumbnails are doing better. If you were to get TubeBuddy, and I think one of the paid options, they actually have something I haven't used personally, but there's an A/B test where I think, and I could be wrong about this, but I believe you can put up 2 thumbnails, and it has some way of determining which one might be more effective. I haven't tested it out yet, but that might be an idea to play around with. Talking about back at your banner, like I said, it looks great. Doesn't necessarily communicate what's going on. I imagine... Oh, it says designed by. So someone designed that for you. That's kind of interesting on a couple of fronts. So I probably can't give you too much feedback because you probably need to go back to your designer. My one thought is that if there was a soccer or a football somewhere there, it would instantly, even if even on your profile, if it's just under the STGA, they would just get an idea that it's automatically about the footy. And that might not be the worst idea. But, and again, you heard me before, things that look like they're clickable social links but aren't, a little problematic. But you've got them over there, so that's good. Looks like you're accepting PayPal donations, which is interesting. With 68 subscribers, have you gotten many people sending you PayPal donations out of curiosity? Just curious how that's working for you. Yeah, so you got the popular channels, but it seems like you're really on point with a consistent theme. So I think over time, especially if you align your keywords, YouTube will find out what you're about. That'll probably switch you over to related channels very soon. I recommend activating a box. Again, even if it's just to the official FIFA or the EA channel, just as recommended channels, if there's not a specific person you've collabed with or that you watch and enjoy, that's not a bad thing. It activates a tool, and so YouTube says, hey, this guy's serious, and creators who visit see that you promote others. Not yet. Well, my one thought about that PayPal thing is maybe look at putting it third instead of first, so that like Instagram or Twitter, I would say look at your Instagram and Twitter, see which one has more followers, and put that first. Because it doesn't look like it's currently driving traffic if you're not getting donations. So the first one shows the text next to it, and so maybe have it drive something that might deliver for you more immediately, and then you can always reorder them again later. That might be an idea. Channelytics. And again, the language barrier could be a small thing here. No channel tags. So at the very least, go in there and like EA, FIFA, Electronic Arts, EA Sports, a few tags there about that. And if there's something else that's more specific about what you do with the game, is it a let's play? Is it a commentary? Is it funny? Do you show glitches? If you can bolster those tags, it could have an impact on all your videos, especially if they align with the tags that you're using consistently in videos. So that's a good idea. So you've got uploads, popular uploads, and created playlists. I would suggest something... You've got, like, maybe have one of these playlists be a full list, and maybe rename created playlist to something else, because it's kind of automatically generated. Yeah. Most people don't know about the channel tags, and so that gives you an advantage that you now know about it, while others might not. So just go in and use it. It's 90 seconds out of your life to go in, type in some words. I showed a little earlier in the video about how you can do that. Checking the About page. And again, language barrier here. You have a subscribe thing here, though. It's not clickable. The link doesn't fully display. No one can do anything with that, to be completely blunt. So I would remove that. And you maybe replace it with some text that gives people a specific reason to subscribe. I don't know what you're saying up here, but if you have an inconsistent upload schedule, take that negative and turn it into a positive and turn it into a reason that people should subscribe and turn on notifications so that they can know when your video comes out. I think that might be one way of doing that. But I think with that in mind, I'm going to have to wrap things up. My time with you is drawing to a close. But this has been fantastic. I think I got to pretty much everyone's channel, so that's awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm planning on doing this again November 23rd, November 30th, December 26th. Other dates to be added, but sometimes I do this with no notice. So subscribe to this channel. Click on the notifications. If you're not already in it, join the Small YouTubers Boost group on Facebook. Check the announcements for the discount code. Save 20% on TubeBuddy. This video is not sponsored, but I'm going to, for one last time, put the TubeBuddy link in the chat. It is an affiliate link, so if you happen to... I could Google Translate, but I don't have a lot of time. Maybe next time. It's affiliate link. I get a little something if you do get the paid version, but the free version's pretty awesome. Everything I've showed you today was just using the free version. And also, another good reason to subscribe is I will be working on tutorial videos on this channel, Small YouTubers Boost. We're talking TubeBuddy tutorials, basic YouTube functions, some of the stuff I showed you and talked about in this chat. We're going to see about making little shorter clip videos, be more useful resource for you. So thanks for joining me. And... since my regular channel, my primary channel is Vacation Impossible, I'm going to leave you with this. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to go and do something in like the next hour on Twitter. If you don't have an account, go sign up. If you have one, go tweet about your most recent video or your channel. Find at least 3 hashtags that you can use. They don't have to be trending. Make sure they're relevant. The thing about Twitter is... and here's another last tip. If you go to Hootsuite's website, it's a thing that you can buy, and I don't use it, but they have free tutorial classes you can take, online things that teach you about social media. And one of the things they talk about in their Twitter module is that the average tweet has a lifespan of 22 minutes. So after 22 minutes, it's not likely to get more likes and retweets. But that also means that on Twitter, you can post more frequently. If you're going to post frequently, Twitter's the place to do it. That's kind of what it's all about. So if you haven't posted anything in the last hour, and I'm not saying you have to do it hourly, you should probably try to tweet maybe once a day. But that's my challenge to you. Go promote your most recent video or your channel with at least 3 relevant hashtags on Twitter and see if anything happens, because it certainly won't hurt. So that's your mission if you choose to accept it. Other than that, this live stream will self-destruct in 5 seconds.